The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Here comes Bambi, smiling at me in red stockings and a G-string. Sits next to me, hand on my knee, smells so lovely like cotton candy. 34 Ds do convince me to give her 20. Shakes her booty, grinds on my knee to AC/DC. It's 2:45, we go privately. Start to believe she's into me, that just maybe we could live happily. She stops abruptly, announces to me it'll cost me 2G, my wallet's empty. I make a mad dash to the ATM for cash, but the machine says my credit card's max, but the machine says my credit card's max. I quietly return to Bambi. She says to me, what's wrong, baby girl? Well, you see, I'm out of money. She says, honey, this ain't charity. My dancing queen abandons me, aligns her G-string, adjusts her stockings. Bambi, don't leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's a very special day for everybody here at the Half-Ass Morning Show. Very special. Starting in 19 minutes, the fine and charitable folks at Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club in downtown Minneapolis will be unlocking the doors and firing up Toys-4-Tatas 20 plus 23. Our annual holiday toy drive. Very special.
It is. And on our Friday. Could the day get any better?
That's sweet.
About time that a Toys-4-Tatas landed on one of our Fridays.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do we have one of the fine folks we sent out there ready to go? Dana and Ashley will be broadcasting live. And I know we have a little technical issue, so maybe we got Dana on the phone?
What?
Yeah, we got him on the phone.
Yeah, you got me on the phone.
Since when do we have technical issues whenever we're trying to broadcast anywhere?
We were shocked. We were shocked. Our jaws hit the floor when this happened.
And this is why we are broadcasting from the studio and you guys are down there, just in case something like this happens. Because people have said, well, why don't you broadcast down there anymore? This is the reason. These issues always seem to come up, and that's why program directors hate live broadcasts.
That's right. What's going on down there, Dana? It's the calm before the storm.
Yes, exactly. I just posted a photo on our social medias with that exact caption of the stage. You know, it's kind of nice to see it right now before all hell breaks loose here. And what do you say, like 16, 17 minutes?
Yep. Is there, do you see folks there already? Every once in a while you get somebody lined up that want to get in there at 6.
Right when the open hit, I poked my head out there and I saw some folks, toys in hand, ready to get in here and raise some hell. So that's always nice to see people wanting to be the first ones through the doors.
You gotten yourself behind the bar and gotten a drink yet?
I'm hanging on the VIP lounge with a bottle of Cristal right now. Right in the back room. Yeah.
Also known as White Claw, I'd imagine. You got a White Claw in both hands.
I took a White Claw and I wrote Cristal on with a magic marker.
What about the other one?
What's that? The other one, Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's over here if you guys want to say hi to her. She's hanging out too.
That's cool.
No, we don't want to talk
that's
to her.
fine.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, all right. It's not an offer.
That is one of my favorite parts about Toys-4-Tatas is seeing how excited Ashley gets. I mean, it's almost weird how happy she gets at this event.
It is like a kid on Christmas, essentially. And last year was my first Toys-4-Tatas, and once things really started cooking, and we're broadcasting live from here, and we're checking with you guys, you know, to be like, I'll be like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, God, where's Ashley now? I'm trying to track her down. She's at this table, that table. She's up on stage. It's like herding cattle with her on Toys-4-Tatas Day.
Yeah, I think maybe a couple times ago, we experienced the same thing where we were actually on the air and we had to tell Ashley, hey, can you get on the mic real quick? Remember that, Nick? We were up next to the stage and she's like talking to the strippers.
Right.
She's laughing constantly.
We were trying to broadcast.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a broadcast.
This was probably our final year of broadcasting live from Rick's Cabaret for Toys-4-Tatas. Yeah, we're live on the radio, and she's completely oblivious to this because she's marking her territory with all the strippers that she wants to party with later on in the morning. She's talking to this one. Hey, we're trying to do a friggin' radio show here. Try and pay attention. But you know what it is about Ashley also on Toys-4-Tatas? It's the high highs and the low lows.
Oh, I haven't seen the low lows. Explain.
Oh, I saw. Okay, this was her very first year with the radio station. I have no idea how many years that was ago to pick me up. That look on her face was just the realization that her day was over at Toys-for-Tatas. She had to leave.
Poor Ashley. Like I said, it's so fun watching her. I'd recommend. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff to look at for sure, but if you go there, just watch Ashley. It'll put a smile on your face.
She's fun.
I got some great news via text yesterday. I had mentioned this will be, there's some weird milestones in my life the last few years where my stepkids are old enough to come to some of our events, and they've wanted to go, and so they're coming to the booze cruises and things like this. And so I found out my stepson will be there today for the first time. He's coming for a Toys-for-Tatas event, and I was a little concerned. It's an odd thing for me to be there with him, and I was concerned I'd have to, see a lap dance occur. But he texted me last night and said, there's no way I'm getting a lap dance while you're there. So I might close this thing down tonight because I don't want him getting one.
Well, Josh, when I said there's some people in line already, your stepson's the first one. He wants to get the lap dances out of the way before you get here.
Oh, no. You got to stop him. Tell him it's not open until I get there.
He's a smart kid. Well, why can't you just, that's like a rite of passage with every father-son combination.
Now, I'm exaggerating. If he wants to get one, that's fine. But it made me feel a little bit of pride that he said, there's no way I'm going to get one while you're there. I felt like a good dad.
He's honoring your morals, your standards.
Plus, it's weird for him to come see his sister who will be dancing today.
I'll be damned.
She'll be up on stage.
Well, yeah, we're just getting started here. Again, 12 minutes and the doors open. Party starts at 6. You get in for free with that unwrapped toy. You get the free food, and the party begins. We're just really excited. It's always a great party. Great party.
Yeah, and
I think for Dana's sake, the only day of the year where Rick's Cabaret will let in anyone wearing jean shorts.
And Buffalo Bills apparel.
Yeah, right.
I did wear jean shorts today, too. I've been wearing jeans, but I remember it gets, because we packed this place. And I remember last year, it was getting a little roasty, so I did actually wear the shorts today just to try to save people from having to see just flop sweat coming down my face.
Yeah, I'm likely going to sweat my ass off in the place today. Yeah, it gets hot in there.
Jorts? Are you wearing jorts?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
I'm known for wearing my basketball shorts, again, just in case someone needs my jump shot. You never know. When somebody's
walking through the park and so that somebody needs a fifth, so they bring in the ringer, Josh, to come and start just burying threes.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we need someone to work the paint. You got basketball shorts on? But I forgot where I was going with this whole thing.
Talking about shorts.
Yeah, shoot, I can't remember.
Your jump shot.
But I did want to get to this for folks. We started out with one local charity in the very beginning.
Oh, good idea.
And now we're up to 4, and that is so awesome. You know what? We could probably even do more in the future. There's so many charities benefiting from this. There's one called Oasis for Youth, elevating youth in their own communities. St. Michael's, St. George's Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Northeast Minneapolis. This is great. Ukrainian kids coming here, some refugees, and obviously, Christmas presents aren't the first thing that people are thinking about when they get here, just trying to provide a place for them and keep them safe.
Dude, that's really cool.
That is really cool. And you know what? We should mention that happened last year, too. And thanks to the folks that come out there and donate these toys. Dakota Woodlands, pretty much day one, they have been a part of this. It's a great shelter in Eagan. It's a homelessness shelter helping women and children in some tough situations. And then, there's one or two others that are going to benefit from this. So we're up to, I think it's 4. So one more. I didn't necessarily want us to say the name, but they're a part of it as well.
I understand.
I didn't know how to get around that. I'll just tell you, they didn't necessarily want us to say their name.
That's fine. It's really cool to know where all of the toys are going.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a little bit. It's more than enough for each one. Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone who's been a part of it. And thanks to those people who, like we say every year, just they drop off toys, donate a little money. They can't even be there.
Right. We're very thankful to how giving and charitable our listening audience is year after year for this event. We mention it all the time.
But then there's guys like Folgers Can Jesus and Drinks Coffee Then Poops Jesus, who they text in arrogantly wanting a shout out and a successful trip wish because they're going to Red Lake this weekend.
They're going to Red Lake.
Yeah, it sounds like they've got some free time, doesn't it? I mean, does that sound that way to you guys?
Yeah.
It's not a work trip.
No.
Is there any other place they could have stopped maybe before they went to Red Lake?
Minneapolis is on the way to Red Lake.
It kind of is,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're coming from the south.
Yeah.
You got to pass through.
Yeah. I mean,
Swing on by.
You got to pass through. And they decided not to do that.
Well, I think maybe now that you've mentioned it, that we're guilt tripping them a little bit, maybe we'll see them later.
Take a U-turn? No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Hope you guys have a great trip.
They got all weekend.
Have fun.
We see dudes in snowsuits and they got their ice gear ready, at Rick's Cabaret.
Tails tucked between their legs.
All right, Dana, we'll let you go and check in with you later and tell Ashley hello. And
I'll try to keep her out the hooch as long as possible.
Yeah, we'll be talking
No,
soon.
I want to see her drunk. I want to see her.
All right, I'll load her up right now then.
Yeah.
See you later, son.
We'll be in touch.
You got it. Dana and Ashley already over at the club. That's our setup. The rest of us, me, Wapple, the boner machine over there, Josh.
I am not a boner machine.
We'll be whipping over as soon as our radio show wraps up at 9 a.m. Probably be there around 9:30 to see everybody for today's Toys for Tatas Toy Drive. So your stepson's showing up. Okay, fine. Most strip joints aren't really a place where you see families.
No.
All right, I'll admit it.
Haven't seen too many there.
Not a big family type of a vibe
Family gathering.
at most strip joints.
I don't think I've ever been to a strip club with a family member. I was trying to think. Like, not even my brother or cousin, my cousin, as you know, we grew up as brothers in the same house. Never once. Although he texted me yesterday he was going to try and make it out, but it doesn't sound like he can.
But there is one great Toys for Tatas story related, and I don't mean to be cute with that, to family. And that was quite a few years ago when one of our promotions guys, his niece was a dancer at the club. And this was so effing funny.
And he was a younger guy. I mean,
he was in his mid-30s,
yeah.
I guess.
And he
had one of those big families where, say,
sometimes the niece is older than you are.
Right, one of those massive families where, my God, it just doesn't make any sense how an uncle is actually younger than a niece and all that kind of wackiness. Some of you folks in big families know what we're talking about. So, one of our promotion guys who had to be at the event, he had to work the event, his niece is one of the dancers. And Wawa-Weewa, by the way. His niece. And he's on edge coming up to the event, leading up to the event. And he's warning people in the building, don't you dare get a lap dance from my niece. Don't do it. He wasn't terribly thrilled with the idea that she was working there. So we show up at the event. We're all standing around, jaw-jacking. His niece comes over to say hi to him. Hi, Uncle Donnie. I don't really want to say his name anymore. I used to dump his name into the mix, but I don't know him that well anymore, and I don't know how comfortable he is discussing this. So she comes up, and she's introducing herself to all of us. And there's Donnie, our promotions guy, looking at every one of us, side-eyeing every one of us, saying, don't do it. Well, Donnie had to walk away. He's working the event. He had to walk away for a little bit, and one of our sales guys, he's long gone, he says to the niece, can I get a lap dance? And we're like, dude, you're going to go for it? He says, yeah, man, F Donnie. I'm going to do it. So he sits down, gets a lap dance from Donnie's niece. Donnie comes over, sees it happening. Steam starts pouring out of his ears. That was one cold-blooded move.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the balls to do that, especially with him, because he's
a big dude.
Oh, yeah, and he seems like the type of guy that would hurt you, or if not, he was definitely the type of guy that knows people that would. I would never mess with that guy.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have done what I did.
Oh, what'd you do? You're not... Oh, no.
Probably shouldn't have done it. But I couldn't help it. She and I, we had a connection right from the get-go. So there you go. What else is going on this morning? It's 7:30. All hell breaks loose. Purple Pick'em. We'll get a listener on the air for some predictions for Sunday's game. A chit-chat with Vikings long dam snapper Andrew DePaola.
Isn't he the best?
He's a very Very well-liked guy around here. Very well-liked.
He's leading the Pro Bowl votes for long snappers.
Is he really?
Yeah.
You've been keeping track of that?
Yeah, I got to thank you to the Brotherhood. They let me know. They texted yesterday saying, hey, did you know he was leading? And I didn't know. And then Dana, I guess, he had retweeted something that Andrew tweeted out. So, yeah, hopefully he gets it again. How great would that be?
That would be insane.
He deserves it. He's such a good guy.
We'll talk to Andrew around 7:30. Yeah, we always look forward to talking with the guy. Yes, Wapple.
That'd be great if he becomes like the greatest voted long snapper of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, like
just years to come.
All-time vote total leader. Yeah.
I doubt Nick and I will be here, but in 10 years, maybe if he's still on the show, whoever's hosting the show, they'd say, 10-time Pro Bowler Andrew DePaola joins us.
Unbelievable. He's not even that good at what he does.
I was just going to say, I want him to win because of how cool he is.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he's any good.
No, he's not very good, but he's a very cool guy. And then Dad Fights 100 plus 50. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder going at it in our weekly trivia showdown.
150, that's insane.
50.
That's like their ages combined.
It is.
I bring it up every time, but I remember this one specific moment. Nick said, I cannot wait until we get up to those crazy UFC numbers where it's like 186.
Yeah.
And right now we're at 150. It's
where you
insane.
you kind of sit around and say, where has my life gone?
Where has time gone?
How did we get through 149 of these damn things?
It's almost been 3 years.
Yeah, and I'd have an uncomfortable situation where someone would be like, what's changed since week 1 in your life? And I'd have no idea.
Right.
I couldn't tell them one thing. It's been a really long time. I don't know. It's kind of the same old, same old.
Just had a text message dumped on us from the Fat Rat Choppers. They are on a bus heading to Toys-for-Tatas. They have a bus. They're on their way to downtown Minneapolis for Toys-for-Tatas.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
Ultimately, I'm not expecting that you know how to do everything, but I am expecting that you are willing to learn.
You can't be in the passenger seat when it comes to your career. No. You can't expect your manager to teach you every single thing. As you're falling behind in a skill, like finding a way to get caught up without just telling your boss, like, I don't get it.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-assed Morning Show.
Oh, my God. Toys-for-Tatas 20 plus 23. It's rolling. If you're looking to go downtown Minneapolis to Rick's Cabaret to help us out, donate a toy, doors are open. The doors are open. We're here in the Half-assed Morning Show studios till 9. Then we'll be running over to Rick's. So just a little heads up. They're open for business, aren't they, Cubby?
They are. Sounds like it's already filling up pretty quick.
I'm jealous. So here's the deal. We got things to cover before we head in that direction, like the stupid news. And right from the get-go here, Josh, we got a story that'll just make you wonder what in the living hell some people are thinking. A 57-year-old woman's she hopped into one of those MRI machines. Doctor's orders. Let's give you an MRI. I'm not sure what her medical issue was. I know what her medical issue is now, though. So she hops into one of those MRI machines with a friggin' handgun on her.
It's kind of amazing they didn't catch that. I've had a couple of them, and they're so thorough.
It is amazing that the screening, the metal screenings that they put you through didn't catch it, but it did. And we'll get to, there's further information. It's just...
I had to remove my Prince Albert.
Oh.
I mean, they're that thorough.
God. What about the other Prince Albert?
They made me take that one out
The second one?
Yeah. I had to use the first one to get the second one out.
To pry the second one out. This gal hops into an MRI machine with a handgun on her, and the magnetic power that goes along with those MRIs caused her gun to shoot her in the right ass cheek. She's going to be fine physically. Mentally, I don't think she stands a chance. Because for whatever stupid reason, she denied having any firearms on her before entering the MRI room. Like we were just saying, the doctors give you a standard screening for metals and such before they load you into the machine. That must have failed somehow. But there's a second level of defense to keep these horrible things from happening. The doctors clearly asked her if she was carrying a firearm, and she said no. Why did she do that?
They explain why. Hey, just so you know, I mean, it's a powerful magnet. You don't want any metal there. Mm-hmm. They explain, but yeah, I guess she's just too dumb.
Was she maybe because she didn't have a permit?
Possibly right. Maybe she wasn't supposed to carry a gun.
I mean, so what?
Or maybe she thought she was in danger. I don't know.
How could you say no to that question? Are you carrying a gun? No. Do you just have no idea what you're getting yourself involved in? They make it pretty clear. Like Josh was saying, they make it pretty clear. If you have something metal on you, you might not make it out of here. They make it pretty clear. My God, it's just frightening to think that someone is that effing dumb walking around town with a gun. But she's not alone. Luckily, the bullet barely penetrated her butt skin. It wasn't a terrible wound.
And thank goodness it didn't shoot somebody else.
Yeah. Anyone who's ever worked with an MRI machine or gotten an MRI exam, they know that the power, the magnetic action, is a hell of a powerful setup. It isn't just guns that can be dangerous while inside or even next to an MRI machine. People have gotten seriously hurt and killed by wheelchairs. I'm picturing the magnet just sucks it across the room and it took somebody's legs off or something.
Yeah.
Oxygen tanks have killed people in the MRI room. And I'm not making this up. People have been killed. You want to talk about a messy way to go. Check this out. People have been killed in the MRI room by metallic butt plugs.
That sounds like something out of the Amazon show The Boys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Totally.
So God help us, maybe someone had a metallic butt plug placed where you put a metallic butt plug. What did I say?
Plug.
Butt plug. They crawl. You want to be part of the metallic butt club? I'm starting it now. The initiation is horrible.
I don't think so.
I'm picturing that maybe someone had it in them.
Yeah.
They get in the MRI machine and then the machine, I mean, it
just shoots it out their head or something.
Yeah, oh God.
Lake Street Handshake Jesus, he has a theory as to why she denied having the gun. Maybe it was her cousin's pants. It's always the cousin's pants. Yeah, I don't know how that gun got there. These aren't even my pants.
Earlier this year, a Brazilian man died of a gunshot to the stomach, which was triggered by an MRI machine while he was assisting his mother. You know, he's helping his mother during the process. He also denied having a weapon on him before walking into the room. Dude.
Local 322 carpenter Jesus said that he helped install the world's biggest MRI machine at the U of M. So powerful, it'll rip the fillings clean out of your teeth.
Oh. Last time I had an MRI, I can't remember why. Maybe when my knee was all effed up. Would that make sense that maybe they'd be looking at my knee? Or
yeah,
is that
so.
a different...
I'm not an expert, but yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think that's what I was laid out for. My knee was all blown up, and I had this repeated problem with my knee giving way on me. But anyway, I don't have any piercings. I don't... But still, I remember being nerve-wracked while laying in that machine thinking, did I forget something? Because that's how clear they make it to you that you cannot have any metal on you. But I don't know. What the F are people doing? Oh, no. Oh, no. Did you catch this text message? Got a text message, Josh, on... butt plug problems in the MRI machine.
Yeah, I think I saw the same one.
This is a text from a listener who said he or she believes there was a butt plug MRI story a few months back. Someone was wearing a silicone butt plug with a metal core, and it shot up into their chest cavity when the MRI machine was flipped on. Igor over there, he flips the switch on the MRI machine. They get Igor to
What if that's what it looked like in the Frankenstein movies?
Yeah.
That big fork shape. Takes two hands to flip it.
It'd be terrifying.
Yeah, I'd go to a different doctor's office, I think.
I want the dude to look just like Igor from Young Frankenstein, though. Or not? Yeah, Igor. I got the right name, don't I? Yeah. Oh, God. Butt plug traveled up into their chest cavity.
My goodness.
Disgusting. Horrible. All right, I'm going to need you to hold my hand on this here next story because it includes techie stuff that I don't follow at all. I'll do my best here. A photographer who accidentally chose the wrong photo for his Christmas cards was left with 90 copies of a dental x-ray. Are these photos up on our website? Do we have that knowledge in front of us?
I can't remember if I sent it to Ashley or not.
Check it out, Wapple. So I'm going to try to play this out for
Pretty
you.
sure I did.
A 33-year-old dude by the name of Dan White. He used a photo printing app called Shutterfly.
It's a popular one.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It says here, that's an app that allows users to select photos from their camera roll and add their own text, font, and clip art. And dude was planning to use that gimmick to design his own holiday greeting cards. But when his 90 pack, oh my God, he's got a lot of friends and family.
Electrician Jesus sends out 400 of those. I was saying, does the post office thank him every year?
What do you send them to anonymous inmates or something? what do you do? 400 Christmas cards?
He's a popular guy.
That can't be true. Who the hell knows 400 people?
I don't know. Maybe his clients. Maybe that's it.
There you go. If he's a businessman. What's his name again?
Electrician Jesus.
He sends them to all his customers from over the years.
He's actually a gynecologist. It's a weird name for a
Dude, again, Dan White, he got his 90 pack of Christmas cards arrived to his doorstep, but they were all wrong. Instead of whatever festive setup he originally had planned, the card ended up being a big fat close-up x-ray of a set of teeth, surrounded by Christmassy clip art. That much was correct. And it says in big letters, Merry Christmas. He says he must have selected the wrong image from the camera roll when he was putting it all together. So instead of a Christmassy scene, it's this big black and white x-ray of a set of teeth. And it's not even his teeth. It's his neighbor's. And that's interesting in itself. Apparently his neighbor wanted to show him how cute his teeth looked in order to refer Dan to a certain dentist. Is this one of the more bizarre mix-ups you've ever heard?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It was just a colossal F-up. Instead of Christmas cards, he got big, fat teeth x-rays. The folks at Shutterfly heard about this, and they're going to try and help the guy out so he can get his legit Christmas cards out to everybody. I thought 90 was an insane number. Then Cubby went ahead and said 400.
Yeah, I don't know 90 people that would want a Christmas card from me.
But it would make sense. It would make sense if it's a business move.
That's my guess.
I mean, God help us. I still get a yearly... does everyone have an insurance guy or gal that you dealt with years ago, and every year they still send you a Vikings calendar or something?
The first mortgage I ever had in 2000, I still get, from the mortgage guy, I still get a card. Or every once in a while, a magnet or something like that.
Yeah, I remember my folks would get a Christmas card every year from an insurance or a mortgage guy that they dealt with in 1963. You know what I mean? But they keep, I'm guessing if that's what you do for a living, you keep these clients on record forever, and you want to, make nice gestures towards them in case they ever need your business again.
Hey, we still notice you.
Yeah. 1963 to 2013, the guy was sending, this mortgage guy was sending Christmas cards.
I've got, there's a realtor we used, I want to say in 2012, who, and that he drops off Christmas cookies every year.
Christmas cookies.
I like when you get a new house and they have that welcome basket that the real estate agent gives you, and it's just like candy, maybe some scissors, a flashlight, random stuff.
Random household needs.
It's perfect for a junk drawer.
Well, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Or a garbage can.
I prefer a junk drawer.
Here's a listener who says his wife pumps out 200 Christmas cards a year.
Whoa.
Get back to me. Is it a business move or is it all family?
Maybe it's like 100 people on each side of the family?
Who knows? 100 people on each side of the family.
Yeah, you could have like 50 people, and then maybe you have 50 friends too, and then on the other side.
Okay, you're including friends now. At any rate, get back to me, dude. Your message says, Nick, my wife sends out over 200 each year just because. Is it really just because, or is it business?
I remember having to sign graduation cards and fill them out and stuff. Oh boy, would you get carpal tunnel in your hand. Writing all that. Thanks for coming to my graduation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have vague memories.
$100. It's bigger when it's warm out, Jesus said. He's a bobcat and lawnmower salesman, and he sends Christmas cards out to his customers.
All right, there you go. That makes sense. Are you guys familiar with that thing they got going in Venice, Italy, where folks take a cruise down a canal and those flipping gondolas?
Sure, you see that in a lot of movies and stuff.
Romantic.
Gondola?
I've heard both. I was going to say, I don't know. I would say gondola in this case, but I don't know.
Yeah, then would a gondola be the one that's like you go snowboarding in?
Exactly. That's how I pronounce that one. Huh. I have no idea what's correct.
I guess I do that without even noticing. I did notice that.
I don't know which pronunciation to go with, but I'll just say gondola. All right, gondola. There's a video going around of a gondola full of dork bag tourists in Italy who tipped the damn thing smooth over, and they all fell into the ice-cold canal because they wouldn't sit the hell down and stop taking damn selfies.
That's your fault.
The gondolier, the dude who steers the boat.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Oh, he kept warning these folks to sit the hell down. But they just couldn't, they simply couldn't stop with the dumbass selfies. So they caused the boat to flip. And the gondolier went into the drink too.
Yeah, that's what would suck.
I'm sure he'd be furious.
And he's pissed.
I told you guys.
Then he's got to rescue these morons too. They're all clinging to the boat. It looked like half of them couldn't swim.
I said don't rock the boat, and you rocked the boat.
Yeah, they look. A couple of them look terrified.
Oh yeah.
And like, how did we ever get in this situation?
Everyone made it out alive. But I bet those canals are 85% liquid human feces, I bet, at this point.
The water didn't look that clear.
No.
I'm sure you're right. People are peeing off the side of those things.
Here's something that's, most of you probably already know this, but Venice, Italy's, that's not how you say it. Venice, Italy's Gondoliers Association. You guys probably already know the latest news with the Venice, Italy Gondoliers Association.
Yeah, I subscribed to their email.
They send out a mailer?
Yeah.
In the year 2020, the Venice Gondoliers Association made a move to reduce capacity on their little tour boats because tourists are too overweight these days.
It's all these Americans.
I wouldn't want to be the person that would have to tell someone that.
Yeah, they had a big meeting, all the Venice gondoliers, and they said, look, we normally allow 10 people on the boat. We got to trim it down to 8 because these people are too fat. That's funny. And I remember talking about this one, speaking of just dorky tourists that can't settle down and act like adults. In 20+22, an American tourist got hurt after he fell into the crater of Mount Vesuvius as he tried to retrieve his phone which had slipped out of his hand while taking a selfie. That's how obsessed we are with these stupid friggin' phones.
It's gone, man.
Just let it go.
And how self-absorbed we are with all the selfies and look at me and look what I had for dinner and look at my kid. We've become so nuts, a guy drops his phone into a volcano, he goes to get it.
Over the weekend, I watched a video on Instagram, and a girl dropped her phone in a porta potty. And she went in to get it, and she was about elbow deep and just gagging the whole time. And I'm like, why would it's a lost cause.
Didn't Ashley do the same thing?
I think she dropped her vape pen in a porta potty, but I don't think she went in to get it. She almost did.
Yuck.
Right,
I was right. It was a vape pen. It wasn't even a phone.
This can't be right. And people know they can play with me because I'm gullible as hell when it comes with foreign countries and whatnot. Someone texted in and says there's sharks in those canals in Italy.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Oh, you bastard.
I don't know if I'm serious.
I was like,
there's some big great whites.
God damn.
Can you imagine an Italian shark? It's wearing this big gold chain coming after you.
Hey, oh! Hey! Over here! There are a lot of people that are texting in on this Christmas card thing. How many Christmas cards folks send out a year? We were reading a story a minute ago about a guy that sends out 90, and I said, Jesus balls, 90? Now, if it's a business move and you want to just keep people aware of whatever you provide professionally, I can understand that. But if it's just family and friends, 90, 100? Good Lord. Well, then you got this side of the deal. Some dude guy, Jesus, says, his wife and I got 25 Christmas cards put together this year, and we're struggling to get rid of them. He said he'll send us one.
My wife has a lot of friends. She could probably crush a few cards here and there, but I don't think we get near 90.
I think I would.
Oh, you had 60-some people show up at the Twins game.
I was just going to say that. I had like 75 people, friends and family at the Twins game.
That's bizarre. There's something wrong with your family.
Electrician Jesus, he got back to us. And we were wondering, 400 Christmas cards every year. And it's got to be, he owns a business. It's got to be related to that. He said it's not. He said only 25 people, or 25 of those cards are to customers or folks he doesn't know so well. Like, for example, the card he sent us. And the rest of them are going to friends and family, I guess.
Brah.
Another listener says, my wife buys 100 Christmas cards every year, and every March I throw the 95 cards we have left in the garbage.
So we have a bunch of those Christmas cards. We just go to Target or whatever, and I think we've had them since we've been married, and we're coming up on 16 years this January.
F me.
We tried a couple of years to send a couple out. It just didn't last.
Well, let me ask you this. How many people's addresses do you have? How many, right in, like, at home, how many addresses do you have written down? My answer is 0.
2.
I've got a couple, just not written, in my phone.
I never mail anything, so I don't have anyone's address. That'd be, let's say you're sending out 100 Christmas cards. Jesus,
I don't think I even have 100 contacts.
Where do you have all those addresses written down? This is I've never really gotten involved in this conversation. I didn't know people were that buck wild when it came to Christmas cards.
Oh, and then you'd have to ask everyone, hey, what's your address?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have
400 text messages?
No, no way I'm getting involved in that. All right. Back to how self-absorbed we are with the friggin' stupid cell phones and the selfies and the social media. Congratulations. When we see Dana at Toys-for-Tatas, we'll congratulate him. Because he's one of those social media dorks.
Boy, he's the most prolific.
Yeah. He's the dorkiest.
That's the meaner way to say it. I was going to say the most prolific social media user I know.
You want to talk mean?
AKA dorkiest.
You want to talk mean, Cubby? You should see those sharks in Venice, Italy.
Whoo-wee, stay away.
Congratulations, self-absorbed social media dorks. You've made it official. So many people have died taking selfies that researchers are officially calling it a public health concern. Right up there with obesity, cancer, and other deadly this and that. Heart failure, diabetes, name all the terrible things. selfies is on the official list. Jericho's got the list if you want to check it.
Oh, man. Thank God we've never made it.
Kind of want to.
The high number of people who have died related to selfies led the researchers to making this official call. It says here, people have been taking unnecessary risks to try to capture a great picture long before the rise of smartphones, but the fact that it's now easier than ever to snap a photo of yourself has undoubtedly contributed to an increase in fatalities.
That's just insane.
It is. I can't wrap my head around any of it. In 20+10, the iPhone 4 pumped out the first front-facing camera on a telephone. And that, they say, was largely responsible for the spawning of the selfie craze. And folks have been dropping like flies ever since. Researchers went ahead and took a good hard look at selfie-related incidents that occurred between 2011 and 20+22. They did the arithmetic on this. They identified at least 12 cases where people either fell to their deaths or drowned as a result of trying to bust out a cute selfie for their friends on Facebook or whatever. By the way, falling to your death is the most common cause.
You tend to hear those a lot.
So if you're a big selfie taker and you're wondering, how am I going to check out? Well, the most likely way is you're going to fall to your death.
I've never taken one on my phone. I have with other people where they're like, hey, let's take a selfie. Have you guys taken a selfie?
Never have.
Yeah.
No.
I often forget my phone has a camera at times. I think I mentioned this before, but I've been in situations where I'm like, oh man, I wish I could take a picture of that. And I forget, oh wait, I have a camera on my phone. Any picture I have on my phone, my wife took and sent to me.
A lot of the times I take a photo, though, I'm with a group of friends, and I'm short, and I don't have long arms, so I have friends that are taller, long arms, so they're usually ones that do selfies.
Oh, good point. I didn't consider that might be helpful.
Do you want to know the characteristics of the most common selfie tragedy victim? The characteristic? Like maybe you're listening right now and you're saying, well, I'm a 40-year-old guy. Is it likely that I die? I'm a 19-year-old gal. Is it more likely that I have the answer? The average victim of a selfie accident or selfie death is a 22-year-old female. They're the most likely to go. So the story here finishes off by saying, think twice about dangling off the edge of a cliff in order to flex on social media. I've said it before, just turn it off. Turn off the social media. We'd be so much better without it. The world was a less hateful, awful place before social media. Turn it the F off, and let's go back to being somewhat normal again.
Well,
never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Pardon me, Wapple?
You wouldn't have to worry about anything. You know, no one could be taking videos of you.
Okay, on a much lesser scale, fine. I'll go ahead with that too. But
that's true. We used to be able to punch flight attendants and nobody would know about it.
No one.
Now it's going to end up on Insta, TikTok,
you used to
Mastodon. Hold on, I'm going through all the ones I can think of.
You used to be able to poop on a plane. Now there's video of it.
Yeah, right. You can't even poop publicly anymore.
It's a nightmare. All right, one more here for you. A television news anchor who works for what they call the BBC in London, England. She got caught effing off on the job live on television the other night. This is very funny when the cameras cut to her to go live with the news. There she was, looking straight into the camera, making a funny face, and giving everyone the damn finger.
This is up on 93x.com.
Check that out on our website. She had it up there for a split second, the bird, and then she switched over to her I'm a serious news reporter face. But it was too late. Everybody saw it, and she's had to go ahead and explain herself. Her name is Miriam Moshiri. and she feels like a damn jackass. And she's explained that it was all just a joke, a private joke she was playing on the rest of the news staff there in the television studio. She apologized on Twitter. She explained that as the director was counting down from 5 to 1 to go live, she followed along with her fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then when she got to 1, she gave that stone cold salute.
I like that bit.
To the camera. Yeah, it's funny.
It is a funny bit.
But she didn't realize that her cute move was broadcast live. She said, "I'm sorry it went out on the air. It was not my intention for this to happen. I'm sorry if I offended or upset anyone. I wasn't flipping the bird at viewers or even a singular person at all. It was a silly joke that was meant for a small number of my mates, as they say in Canada, my mate."
Canada.
She must be Canadian born. Because Canadians are always coming at you with that mate. I hope she keeps her gig. She didn't mean any harm.
Yeah, I mean, here's where what you were saying about social media comes in, right? The death threats or all the people being outrageous about, well, it's just supposed to be a funny moment.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that one. Hopefully she doesn't even have to have an official apology written by their PR department or whatever it is.
You know, on the topic of middle fingers, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. There was a beloved guy who died years ago. Beloved in the town of Wayzata. Marty was his name. Marty died, and we had a massive service. He had a sold-out service at the local funeral home, and so many people loved Marty and were going to go to his service at the local funeral home that they knew it would sell out. So the American Legion also said, come to our bar. And Josh, you'd be able to explain this better than I could, but they simulcast or whatever Marty's service.
They live streamed it?
There you go. They live streamed Marty's service from the funeral home to the American Legion in Wayzata. So I didn't make it to the funeral home because I knew I wouldn't get a seat, so I piled in. So not only is the local funeral home packed, but so is the American Legion. The funeral home people are obviously watching Marty's service live. We're watching it on the television at the bar. And it was, he died young, and it was very sad, and he was very well loved. So, there was a very somber vibe at the Legion. We're all kind of sitting at the bar. We got our drinks, and we're waiting. We're looking at the screen, the television screen, and you can see the people in the funeral home. You can see everything's about ready to begin. It was very quiet. And this one local yokel, who we all know, who was friends with Marty, he walks to in the funeral home. We're watching him on the television. He walks to the front of the funeral home, and he kind of side-eyes the camera. And we all said, "Oh no!" And he gave us all the finger from the funeral home. He's kind of, "Here you go, you sons of bitches." It lightened everybody up, and made everyone feel a bit better about the situation. But I'll remember that for the rest of my life. That was just so perfectly done. Here you go. For those of you at the Legion, I got this for you right here.
That's funny.
That's great.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I played for a lot of teams, man. LA, Chicago, New York. I've heard that their Toronto Blue Jays are involved. Oh, Canada. You'd have to listen to 2 national anthems up there, bro. The taxes would crush you. You're going to have a chance to make $500 or $600 million. Canada's too cold, man. You're in your lovely Newport Beach home. You can commute if you want to stay there to Dodger Stadium every single night. I guarantee you, every single year, you're going to have a chance to play in the postseason, win a World Series, hopefully rings, plural. There is nothing like wearing Dodger blue. And one other thing, you be the West Coast Babe Ruth. Shohei, this is the place to be.
You know what? Shohei Ohtani, I know you watch every day. I appreciate you, man. You're the greatest. But in terms of the person you just heard from, Jerry Hairston Jr., first off, he played for 9 teams in 16 years. Nobody wanted him on their team. Played for the Dodgers for 2 years. I know as much about the Dodgers as Jerry Hairston Jr. Played for them for 2 years. He's an absolute joke. Let's talk taxes. Yeah, we got taxes up in Canada, but California has the 5th highest taxes out of any state in America. Oh, you want to buy a place close to Dodger Stadium? Worst traffic in the world is in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's cold in Canada a little bit. You know what? Also snows in California last time I checked. And based on what Hollywood has told me, the great earthquake is coming at any point. Oh, we're going to talk about rings. We're going to talk about titles. Okay, since 1992, who's won more titles, the Jays or the Dodgers? Jays have 2, Dodgers have not 2. Shohei Ohtani, we love you. You know what to do. Shohei, come home. We love you.
That's great stuff right there.
That's so good.
I don't know if you're following this, but the LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays are rumored to be among the teams competing to land Shohei Ohtani in free agency. And this has sparked like a war of words between the two cities. The first voice you heard there was Jerry Hairston Jr. making a sales pitch on why Ohtani should pick the Dodgers. He kind of attacks Toronto, talking about their tax rate, how cold it is, having to listen to 2 national anthems before every game. Well, that made its way to Toronto. And what's the name of this news guy? Sid Cicero?
Yeah, Cicero.
Sid Cicero, a television news guy in Toronto. He's the second voice you heard, lighten up L.A. Lighten up Jerry Hairston, number one, saying he played for 9 teams in 16 years. Nobody wanted Jerry Hairston.
That was brutal.
He says, I know more about the Dodgers than Jerry Hairston does. He says that, hey, LA's going to fall into the ocean because of an earthquake anyway.
That was my favorite part.
Avoid that by coming to Toronto. It's got the worst traffic in the world. Maybe the best line he had was when he said, listening to 2 national anthems is great. You know why? Because you get to hear the American one and then the better one. Pissing everybody off, this guy up there in Toronto. That's great stuff. The Dodgers are still viewed as the leaders for Ohtani. It's going to be a nightmare, isn't it? It's going to end up terribly, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, you might be right.
Wearing a Yankee jersey or a friggin' Dodger. The Pigs' win streak is officially over. They got shut out in what do you call that city? Vancouver. They got shut out in Vancouver last night. But they're going to continue on, from what I understand.
They're going to keep playing the rest of the season?
Wow. They're going to continue on. They play at Edmonton tonight, 8 o'clock on BSN. The Stillers lost to the Patriots last night in Thursday Night Football. The Wolves are at Memphis tonight, 7 o'clock on BSN+. And something to look forward to at 7:30, other than what we already have going on, which all fun things. Purple Pick'em. We'll get a listener around the year to make some score predictions. Where am I going with this? Andrew DePaola, long snapper from the Minnesota Vikings, will be chatting with us. Dad Fights, part 150. But also, we're going to tell you about probably the greatest fight that ever happened in the stands at any sporting event ever. The greatest fight amongst fans. 2 fans got into a fight at a hockey game in the stands. And I think you guys, I bet you agree with me, probably the greatest fight that ever took place in the stands at any sporting event ever. We'll tell you all about that.
I love twist endings, and you get one here.
Oh, yeah.
You absolutely do.
You'll
We'll be
never
back.
Guess how it ends.
Josh's news coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of my father, John Glover. You know, we watch talk film, and most of these episodes I never saw.
I didn't watch the show.
You never once saw yourself on Smallville.
In the beginning, I used to look at myself all the time and love to. And then as I get older, I stopped.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm older.
I was going to talk to you about that because you're 79.
Yeah.
How old do you feel?
11.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Wherever you listen. Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Turn yourself in and bring us back our stuff so me and my kids could have a good Christmas.
A Florida community came together for a local mom who said someone broke into her home and stole all the Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
39-year-old Shanna Hudson reported her Lee Acres home had been burglarized November 19th. Police reports said Christmas gifts were stolen, leaving her kids without gifts for the holiday season.
8 fishing poles. They took some clothes. I bought clothes for my 5 kids. I wanted my kids to have a decent Christmas, but now they don't have a Christmas at all because some thief came and stole our.
You can hear the frustration in her voice there.
I have a bad feeling about this.
This story?
Yeah.
Well, I can't see why. Let me continue.
I just have a bad feeling. That's all I'm saying.
While investigating, the East District Criminal Investigations detectives coordinated a donation from the American Legion. They used funds from their Shop with a Cop event to surprise the mother with new gifts to replace the ones that were stolen and provide her kids a nice Christmas. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I almost forgot.
What's that now?
She made it all up.
Oh!
Deputies said a tip to Crime Stoppers led detectives to evidence Hudson lied about the whole thing. The items that were reported stolen, they found them. They were hidden at a family member's home. This pathetic behavior is unacceptable, especially given the circumstances this holiday season, Sheriff Carmine Marceno said. The woman took advantage of the system and is now paying the price for her selfish choices. He went on to say Hudson was transported to the Marceno Motel, where this Grinch will have plenty of time to think twice about stealing Christmas. She's now facing charges for making a false report to law enforcement.
What a pile of garbage.
No kidding. How low can you get?
Just so they could double up on gifts. Maybe turn some in, make a few bucks, right, Cubby?
Yeah, and again, she had Christmas. It wasn't like she was so impoverished she felt this is, I don't know her financial situation, but she had the gifts, right?
Yes.
So they were going to have a Christmas. A 61-year-old father in Kentucky was arrested this week after he allegedly admitted to shooting his own son because the younger man would not hush as his father had ordered him to. According to the report, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office responded to a 911 call last Friday of a shooting. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders saw 61-year-old Timothy Rivers sitting in an armchair with a rifle placed in front of him. He was reportedly smoking a pipe, which authorities said contained marijuana. In a recorded interview with investigators, he allegedly said he and his son were in the home together when the younger man burst into the back room of the house where Rivers was sitting and began yelling. Rivers explained to deputies he told his son to hush or he would hurt him. When, according to Rivers, the victim continued yelling, he told the deputies that he, quote, shot the hell out of him. Rivers was arrested and charged with attempted murder along with other charges as well.
All right, you're totally insane.
While the goal of a dating app is to end up on a hot date, a Florida woman may have taken it too far when she tried to set her Tinder date on fire. 29-year-old Destiny Lene Johnson was arrested Monday, a week after the explosive episode occurred outside a Holiday Inn.
Set a guy on fire?
Yeah, she did. She met the victim for the first time November 16th. He picked her up from a hotel. Things went well, he said. However, a little over a week later, November 25th, the victim told police Johnson, who reportedly went by the name Tiny on Tinder, called him around 5 a.m. and asked to meet at the hotel once more. The man obliged, thinking perhaps it was a booty call.
Right on.
When he showed up, he said Johnson approached his vehicle carrying a jug filled with what appeared to him to be gasoline. She told him her car needed fixing, and she needed money. The man remarked to Johnson that he didn't appreciate being asked to come to the hotel at that time of day if it was just for money, but he gave her $60 anyways to help out.
Nice guy.
That's when she grew irate that it was only $60.
Oh, no.
She started pouring gasoline into the man's car. He tried to escape, but she used a lighter to ignite it. The man told police moments before it happened, she yelled, "You guys are out to get me." As he rolled around on the asphalt to put himself out, his car was completely consumed. Following a 911 call from hotel staff, police later found Johnson, who was described as a naked female with burns, stating that she blew up a vehicle. She's facing charges of attempted murder.
And this all started with one of those online dates?
Yeah, a Tinder match.
A Tinder match. That's going to scare some guys away from that. I bet that scares some guys away from that practice altogether.
Yeah, I would think so.
Why would you go as Tiny on Tinder?
Why not?
I don't know. Kind of wrong condentation you want out there, I think.
Condentation?
Why would that be a wrong condentation?
What is a condentation?
I don't know.
Did you make that word up? Is that a word, Josh?
He added a D to connotation, but yeah.
Yeah,
so,
there we go.
So this you mean it's the girl that did it?
Oh, I thought, isn't the guy's name Tiny on Tinder?
All right, Wapple, let's just talk about this.
I didn't want to be known as Tiny on Tinder.
Let's forget about it.
Huge.
Forget it.
Yeah. You're sending out the wrong connotation here, Wapple,
Right.
with this. line of thinking. A substitute teacher is facing charges after he allegedly mooned a class of 6th graders.
No kidding.
32-year-old Stephen Canciani was arrested Tuesday in connection with the incident at Anderson Middle School in Redding, California. It first came to light after 2 students told the vice principal the teacher was exposing his buttocks in class.
8 fishing poles. They took some.
Did you have any conversations with your student about this?
He was just kind of shocked that it happened. It kind of blew everybody's mind.
The vice principal told police he went to the classroom and he saw the teacher with his pants and underwear pulled down mid-thigh.
Jesus.
The vice principal ordered him to leave the school immediately, and then he contacted police.
Naked teacher ass.
Yeah. In a note to parents, Principal Felicia Ross said the teacher exposed his upper chest/neck area, butt cheeks, butt crack, and added 2 students reported seeing frontal genital nudity.
You sound like that gal who sells that cream.
Oh, I love that lady.
Listing all those body parts.
Yeah.
I know she's
there's something about her.
There is something about her. What's that product called again? She's always talking about Lumi.
Lumi?
Your butt crack, the backs of your knees, behind your ears, your armpits, your nipples. Yeah, Lumi.
She assured parents in her note that Canciani would no longer be allowed to work in the district.
Yeah, you can't get naked in front of the kids.
Nah, you're not supposed to. There was a photo of him. One of the kids took a photo, and he's just kind of lounging in the chair behind the teacher's desk with his pants half down. You know, like it's just relaxing. That's all.
Just at home.
He looked pretty comfortable.
Sends out a completely inappropriate laundrentration.
It does.
I made that up on the fly.
I could tell.
Yeah.
You know, under different circumcisions, it might have been appropriate. But when you're in front of a class of 6th graders, you can't do that.
Guy gets set on fire because of a Tinder date, and Wapple wants to make fun of his nickname.
A sheriff's deputy in Virginia searching for an alleged drunk driver found his man when the drunkard collided with the deputy who was looking for him. The Spotsylvania Sheriff's Office received a call.
Spotsylvania?
Spotsylvania.
What an interesting town name.
They received a call about a possible drunk driver around 3 p.m. December 1st. When they seen, now I'm hoping I pronounced that right.
Well, yeah, it sounds, what else could it be?
Yeah, I think that's got to be.
Yeah.
When a senior deputy arrived in the area to search for the drunk driver, the suspect vehicle came into his lane of travel, striking the deputy's vehicle head on.
Oh, no.
The driver of that vehicle, 57-year-old John Fields, was arrested after he crossed the double yellow line on the 2-lane road before barreling into the officer's SUV. The deputy tried to swerve out of the way to avoid the crash, but couldn't. You can see the video on 93x.com. Fields was arrested for driving under the influence, reckless driving, and failure to drive on the right side of the highway. Neither man was seriously injured. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign starts next Wednesday.
I would guess that's a cop's least favorite way to capture a drunk driver, right there.
When they crash right into you?
When they just barrel into you at full speed, yes.
Yeah, more paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
A young woman who began her first nursing job this year in New Hampshire with a desire to specialize in cardiac care was in the middle of a practice session on how to respond to someone in cardiac arrest last month.
Uh-oh.
When the 23-year-old started to feel dizzy and nauseous just as things were getting underway. The next thing she remembered was waking up to a room full of doctors and nurses. It turned out she had gone into cardiac arrest during cardiac arrest class.
Oh.
And only a 23-year-old?
Only 23. Her colleagues sprang into action.
We're all making up words today.
And instead of practicing chest compressions on a mannequin in a simulated environment, they went to work on her. Luckily, the hospital's critical care team was next door, attending a separate session. More nurses came in to help, and a doctor and nurse from another department rushed in with crash carts. Doctors say it's a mystery why such a young and in-shape woman would go into cardiac arrest like she did, but they say she was definitely at the right place at the right time, surrounded by the right people.
That's really strange for someone. I've heard of one of those before in my life where someone in their 20s had a grabber. Maybe it's something to say about the power of suggestion, Josh.
Oh, you think maybe she was thinking too hard about it?
All day long, she talks about cardiac this and chest pains and shortness of breath, and all of a sudden I don't know. Like that scene from Airplane where Frank Drebin is describing what's the word I'm looking for? The symptoms of the sickness that's going around the airplane, and the pilot is experiencing the symptoms at the exact same time.
Yeah, or you hear about those stories where they're like the mass hysteria, right? Where I forget the country, but there was a whole bunch. They were using a Ouija board. People started freaking out, and like 30 girls had to go to the hospital. You know, it's that kind of mania.
It's not right.
Or when this happened to Peter from Family Guy when he was going for a job interview.
I don't know, Brian. Maybe Lois is right. Maybe it is time for me to get a job.
Yeah, too bad you always blow it in the interview.
So, Peter, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your son?
You know how that can happen? You just psych yourself out.
I forgot about that one.
That's so good. New music out this week. Atreyu, The Beautiful Dark of Life. And the 2011 Shinedown live album, Somewhere in the Stratosphere, now available on vinyl for the first time. Each week, you can find what's new in rock over on 93x.com's notable new releases post and our playlist on Spotify. We are so with it. In theaters today, the incredible tale about the fantastical evolution of Bella Baxter, a young woman brought back to life by the brilliant but unorthodox scientist in Poor Things. Poor Things stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, and Gerard Carmichael. Die Hard, 1988's highly debated, possibly a holiday movie, is returning to theaters just in time for Christmas. Whether you're in the mood for a debatable Christmas movie or just want to catch an old classic on the big screen, it's back in theaters for just under a week. You can see it through Thursday.
And a friend of mine was kind of pumped about this.
Yeah, it's cool. I never saw it in theaters, so maybe I'll go. I won't go. On Netflix today, Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, and Kevin Bacon and Leave the World Behind. A family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes on an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. Adam Driver hosts Saturday Night Live with musical guest Olivia Rodrigo. And tonight on the CW, just for you, Nick, I wanted to mention the third season finale of F-Boy Island.
Ah, man, I caught a few minutes of that.
So you have watched it now?
I caught a few minutes of F-Boy Island. I was having the time of my life.
Well, yeah, you got to tune in this weekend.
My God, the babes on that program.
I'd imagine.
F-Boy Island. You know how badly I want to be an F-boy.
Yeah, you've wanted to be an F-boy for a long time. We just didn't know how to describe it.
They tell me I'm too old for it.
Were you taking notes?
No, just keeping mental notes.
No.
I wasn't writing anything down. Why do you got a system that you use that might...
Yeah, I was going to compare and contrast, see what we got going on.
Different F-boy traits?
Yeah.
Wapple, maybe later on this morning you can describe your perfect F-boy.
Beautiful.
Green Day drummer Trey Cool, 51 tomorrow. Ashley's ex-boyfriend and Twins pitcher Louis Varland will be 26. Also tomorrow, retired professional wrestler and former collegiate wrestler who became a gold medalist at the 1996 Olympic Games, Kurt Angle, 55.
An American hero.
John Malkovich will be 70. Then today, Corey Taylor of Slipknot and Stone Sour, 50. Former Vikings QB Jeff George, 56. A couple of guitar greats have birthdays today as well. Former Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman, 61. He's a genius. You could get this guy a shirt for his birthday, but he won't wear it. Def Leppard guitarist Phil Collins, 66.
You got the Def Leppard news yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, coming to with one of your favorite opening acts or bands of all time.
Journey?
Well, of course, Journey.
Cheap Trick?
Nope.
Heart?
Nope.
Who am I missing?
Steve Miller Band.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no? You've always professed your love for the Steve Miller Band.
That ruined the whole vibe. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah, you have to show up when Journey starts. We learned this morning there is a new Brotherhood chapter tuning in from Montana. So we wanted to recognize them this morning and say thank you.
Oh, Buckle Bunnies.
Buckle Bunnies. Good luck to Elena, bowling for her first individual high school state title tomorrow from Dad, a.k.a. three-quarter Norwegian Jesus. Shout out to Mackenzie, competing in her second wrestling tournament this weekend. Wrestle hard, go for the gold, says P-Man. Ojibwe Jesus texted in a shout-out to his son, who just passed his driver's test yesterday. He goes on to say he's now Mom and Dad's errand boy. Oh, I remember that. That's great. Shout-out to Snow Bear Welder Jesus from your nephew. My couch pulls out, but I don't, Jesus. Happy 39th birthday to Holland Gas Jesus, who took the day off of work with a couple buddies to come down to Toys-for-Tatas. More information on that coming up, and that's 93X News.
The Minnesota Vikings interview.
That's more encroachment when you go that far. You go, what? That's more than encroachment.
Touchdown! Vikings win it!
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Feel pretty good. I'm excited to be back on the field, to be playing with this team, and to finally, just be active on that field. So I'm excited about that and excited to see what we can do on that field.
I hear you. That must be the voice of Justin Jefferson.
Yep. Jay Jettis. There he was.
Jay Jettis?
Jay Jettis. That's what the young kids are calling him.
I hadn't heard that one yet. Is there a slang term that I'm not following there?
I just kind of went with that. I don't know.
Oh,
I think that's his Instagram handle.
Oh, is that what it is?
Hello, Brad Ryder.
Hello.
Instagram
You're so plugged in.
handle. Absolutely. Brad knows this and he knows that. Randy Shaver, are you in the mix? Randy Shaver? No, Randy Shaver.
Oh, yeah, we might have a tech issue sometimes with the live broadcast, our computers, our system here sucks so bad we can't get a lot going on.
Because we got something cooking at Rick's Cabaret right now. Mm-hmm. It's Toys-for-Tatas 20 plus 23. As soon as we hit 9 a.m., we're racing over there. Big deal today, big toy drive. We got this happening at Toys-for-Tatas. We got that happening here in the studio. Well, we'll work on it. We'll get Randy into the mix before you know it. Andrew DePaola on the telephone.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, man.
Where the hell are you? You didn't go to Vegas already. Did you bring Randy to Vegas?
Oh, my God.
We got Randy a little messed up in Vegas.
Yeah, he likes to drink those sea breezes, he's told us.
He'd be about the last guy you'd want to bring with you for a trip to Vegas. He's a junkie.
Does he seem like a guy who would have drank Zimas?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You remember those?
He probably still has them in his basement.
And I don't say that in a bad way. I just say a guy who wanted to, have a drink, but have it a little refreshing at the same time.
Yeah.
You're so spot on right now.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
I never considered that, but I think you're right.
You ever enter a room and there's a bunch of empty zebra? How do you say it again?
Zimas.
Empty Zimas or sea breezes. That would be Randy Shaver.
He loves the sea breeze.
Yeah, he'd be the last guy you'd want to bring to Vegas. He'd just be dragging you in and out of every friggin' sports book known to man down there. He's a big gambler, so.
Yeah, but you'd get in trouble if you went in one of those, Andrew, I think.
Can you not even walk into? Well, I know we covered this a couple weeks ago. You can't walk into a sports book.
Nope.
Can't
enter one.
Yeah, then you'll never be able to join us on our Wisconsin trip we take every year.
You can't come to
Maybe
Wisco.
Once you retire a 10-time Pro Bowler.
Hey, Josh mentioned something, Andrew, that he checked the rankings right now, and you're leading the Pro Bowl list for long snappers already?
Yeah. Hey, yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's great. Let's keep it going. I know we have tweeted out a link to vote, so hopefully folks can get on there if you haven't voted yet.
When does that wrap up? How long do folks get a chance to vote?
I think the last day of voting is December 25th, so Christmas.
Oh, it's coming up. I think we got Randy Shaver in here now. Randy?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
It's nice to hear from you. We were talking about Vegas. Andrew DePaola's on the line. He's heading off to Vegas here soon enough.
Yes.
We were talking about how he's leading the long snappers Pro Bowl vote at this moment.
By a wide margin, as he should.
Is it by a big gap?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's just finishing off his first Zima of the morning.
It sounded like he had insider knowledge over there.
Yeah.
We were
Why not? Let's make it sound good.
We were telling Andrew that you would be the last guy he'd want to go to Vegas with.
Why?
Because you come so uncorked there and just spend.
I do not come uncorked. That's not true.
You just go crazy.
No, I'd be a great guide.
A guide?
Yeah, you know the ins and outs of Vegas, how to do it.
That would be a lot of fun. I'd sign up for that.
Do you know?
I could give you quite the tour.
Waffle and Randy in Vegas. That's a sitcom right there.
Andrew could be your bodyguard, Waffle.
Wait a minute, who's going to Vegas? It's Randy, Andrew, and Waffle?
And Waffle.
Yeah.
And when Waffle gets out of line, Andrew can just snap him someplace. Get him out of trouble.
Course correct.
Yes, course correct. Exactly.
For you older people, if it's just Andrew DePaola and Waffle in Vegas, it makes me think of that old sitcom B.J. McKay and his best friend Bear. Which, if you're older, you remember it was a truck driver and a monkey.
Yep.
Going town to town solving crimes, right, Brad Ryder?
Yeah, and had a great theme song, too.
Yeah, B.J. McKay, and this is his best friend, Bear.
Yep.
Starring, what was his name? Don't tell me the actor. I mean, the monkey, I don't know what his name was, but the actor, Greg Evigan, was that it? Look that up. B.J. McKay and his best damn friend, Bear, was the lead actor. Was it Greg Evigan? You know, being the son of a truck driver.
I think you're right.
Greg Evigan being the son of a truck driver. We were...
Yep, that's right.
Thank you, Wampo, for looking it up. We were drawn to Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy and anything, my brother and I, when we were little kids, you know, because we thought, you know, we'd turn to my dad and be like, do you really get in 300-mile police chases with, and are you really... what's the word I'm looking for? Smuggling liquor across state lines? You know, we thought that was all real. That's great stuff. It was a long time ago. Yeah, and so, you know, if Andrew DePaola and Randy Shaver ended up in Vegas together, you'd have to go to the sports books alone, Randy, because Andrew's not allowed to.
Not allowed, yeah. Not allowed in casinos, right?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, casinos, I don't know. That's a good question. We've been told sports books. I don't know if those are different.
Yeah, you should. You should be able to walk through a casino if you have to get from point A to point B.
You could probably sit down and play a slot machine. There's probably no problem with that, but you probably can't walk in a sports book.
That makes sense.
Do you know your way around Vegas, Andrew? You've been there many times with your free with your off time.
No, not really. So we went. My wife and I went in 2019 when I was actually with the Raiders, because we thought we were going to have to move out there.
Right.
And we looked around, we looked at some houses, we checked out the areas. And then Pro Bowl was really the only time I've really gone and went around, checked stuff out.
Right on. You hit cheetahs and everything. Because, you know, we've got our big toy drive today. It's going on right now. We're the only three swinging D's in the building that aren't already partying at Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club in Minneapolis right now, because we got to do this freaking stupid show. And then at 9 a.m. when the show's over, we're racing over to Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club for the toy drive. So we've got, you know, strip joints on the mind here. What in your travels, Andrew DePaola? What's the city in the NFL market? How do I say that? What cities with NFL franchises have the most possibility of getting in trouble? Is it Atlanta? Does Atlanta have all the... I thought they just had miles and miles of adult entertainment.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Well, which NFL market has the most potential for trouble in that department?
I mean, are we just saying Vegas is automatically number one? Like, let's just get rid of them?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, I would say.
I just for a second there, I completely forgot that Vegas had a ball club.
Well, I mean, you'd have to throw out Green Bay too. So
throw Green Bay out.
Party Central,
Atlanta, New York City.
New Orleans.
The trip to Vegas has to make your PR people a little bit nervous, being a former PR person. So.
I mean, I'm sure they wake up and check their phone every day nervous.
Yeah. Did you say New Orleans, Andrew?
New Orleans, yeah, New Orleans.
Ooh, yes.
Randy vomited all over Bourbon Street years ago when he went to New Orleans.
Oh, gosh.
Didn't you?
I brought it all the way back with me to Minnesota, too. It was a hell of a trip.
This city might be a sleeper, and I'm only saying it because I think there's a lot of guys from this city, but Houston.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
See, Brad,
they had the Super Bowl there not too long ago, and it was a pretty fun city. Yeah.
God, remember the player for the Atlanta Falcons who he's in New Orleans to play in the Super Bowl? And
Eugene Robinson.
Was
right?
it Eugene Robinson?
Having traveled with NBA teams, I can kind of give you a top 3 or 4. Miami.
Yeah, okay, Miami.
Oh, sure. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Miami, Atlanta would make us nervous too.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston was a sleeper, you're right.
Yeah.
Doesn't Atlanta have the one like district that was Buckhead or something like that? That's the district where all the bars and...
New York a little bit too, of course.
What were you saying, Andrew?
I was going to say, the only thing about New York and Miami for us is, like Miami, we stay, I think, like an hour or 45 minutes north of actual Miami. And then New York, like, we don't stay in the city. You stay like 45 minutes outside the city, New Jersey. So, like, those, I mean, they're a little more difficult to get to for us. I don't know where the
The
basketball arenas are.
Yeah, the arena in Miami's downtown, right?
Yeah, we were right downtown. And usually we're there longer than you guys are too. So.
Now, I know I do this all the time, and I feel silly about it, but why do I want to believe that Eugene Robinson is dead, the guy we were talking about?
I don't remember.
Okay.
You're talking about the safety or the defensive back for the Falcons who got arrested during the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yes. Why do I want to say the man is dead? I don't know why.
He is still alive.
He's still alive. Okay. I do that.
This bit goes every time.
I don't know why I'm not that. Josh can tell you, I'm not a dark, morbid person.
No.
I don't know why I always. But
he just talked like a week ago.
He talked a week ago?
Yeah.
What do you mean he talked a week ago?
Like interviews with him and stuff.
Oh, he just talked a week ago.
When Nick says, "Why do I think you're dead?" the chances are you're pretty good that you're alive.
Yeah. You all should be lucky if I assume you dead someday. You all should feel lucky if I assume you dead, because you're probably doing well, and maybe you even talked a week ago.
Yeah, you might have talked 1 week ago.
If it takes you a week between talking, maybe you're not in that great a shape, but okay. But this was a legendary story. The guy, and he was a terrific ball player.
He was.
He was a Pro Bowler.
Yes, he was.
I mean, not that, it doesn't matter, I guess, your level of talent. But anyway, so the Falcons, I thought it was New Orleans when they played in the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. I thought he was in New Orleans. And maybe he was playing for Green Bay at the time. It could be. Anyway, the night before the game, he solicited an undercover cop for some noggin.
Yikes.
Yeah, and he went bye-bye. He couldn't play in the ball game. Didn't that suck when those...
Imagine you missed the Super Bowl for something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it suck, Josh, when cities make you do things that,
it's not his fault.
It's the city.
It's the city.
It's the city. You guys got to be pretty excited there with the Vikings Ball Club to have, what'd you say his name was? Jay Jetski? What's the...
Jay Jettis is what I've heard.
Jet ski Jordan Jefferson.
Jet ski George, still alive, everything.
He's back with the ball club, Andrew. He's back.
Jets is back.
Yes. You get to see what he can do this weekend in Las Vegas. I would suggest that your offense draws up some plays where the football gets thrown in his direction.
Yeah, that would help.
That's a good idea. If we haven't thought of that yet, I'm passing it upstairs.
Yeah, do you mind bringing that to the team meeting?
Yeah.
Raise your hand in the middle of the first meeting.
Hey, guys, I was thinking about something.
I would suggest that your ball club draws up some plays on the chalkboard to where the football gets thrown in his direction. I've never played the game at a professional level. You may not want to take my word for it.
Coaches, I'm wondering.
The Raiders wouldn't they'll never suspect anything.
You know what I think the fans want?
I think we could surprise them.
The Raiders
You know what's funny, though, is you laugh, but, I mean, doesn't he do things that still surprise us on the football field?
Oh,
like, you watch him make a play, and you're like, even though you know he's arguably the best receiver in the NFL, he still will do stuff, and you're like, wow. Like, you're like, oh, my gosh.
I still think that catch in Buffalo last year's got to be one of the top 2 or 3 I've ever seen in my life.
It was awesome.
But he only does those things when you throw him the ball.
Got to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
That's the whole key, is to make sure you throw him the football. So
got to get him the ball. Yep.
Hopefully that'll be part of the game plan on Sunday.
I
mean, this Vegas defense. I mean, Vegas is. It's not like you're playing a team that's having a great season. They're susceptible to whatever you do to them because they're having some struggles too. So
they're not very good with the defense.
This is a great opportunity for the Vikings to get back on the winning track this weekend. So
there you go. There you go. In all your
Coach,
years,
I was wondering.
Hey, Coach, it's me, Andrew.
Far be it from me.
Yeah, pardon me.
I had a thought I'd like to pass your way from a radio personality I was talking to earlier today.
I was talking to some guys today.
Have you drawn anything up for Jet Ski Jerry? He should get the... In all your years in the business, Andrew DePaola, you ever work with kicker Robbie Gould?
I've never worked with him, but I've played against him many times.
He announced his retirement after 18 seasons as a kicker in the NFL. One of the best to ever do it.
I'll be honest, I was surprised to see that.
Even after all this time?
He was kicking at an extremely high level still. I honestly thought he was going to go for a few more years.
Well, damn, that would have been something for him to go a few more years. I mean, maybe he's just had enough with the travels and the this and that. Maybe that's what inspired him.
Maybe
to
he wanted to go out while he was still able to do it.
There you go.
Maybe. Yeah.
18 friggin' years. Most of his time with the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool. You know, we're big marks for the special teams on this program. That's part of the reason why we wanted to, have you on our program from the get-go. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to hear. In the how many years have the Chicago Bears been a friggin' ball club? 100 and
right,
some odd years. He made the Bears announced their 100 all-time greatest players a couple years ago, and Robbie Gould came in at number 62.
Yeah,
62.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about that? Because kickers and you special teamers, you normally don't get that kind of respect.
You're absolutely right. But I mean, you got to think of a franchise like the Bears and how storied they are, and the players that they've had come through. And like you said,
yeah,
I mean, they didn't come around in the 70s. Like I think they started the game of professional football. So I mean, to come in at number 62 on the top 100 Bears, I think that's awesome. That's a pretty good recognition.
I think, let me see here.
And they also have a history of great special team players there. I mean, Devin Hester comes to mind right away. He's got to be among their top 100 players. So it's not like they don't have other players on special teams that were great players.
When Robbie Gould ended his tenure in Chicago, he was the franchise's all-time leader in points scored.
Wow.
1,200 points, some odd points. 1,200 some odd points. Kevin Butler is the only other player in Bears history with at least 1,000 career points. Both of them kickers. Both of them. Kevin Butler stuck around.
He was there for a while, too.
Forever. Do you remember years ago when Mike Ditka just threw Kevin Butler under the bus so badly you couldn't believe it? Anyone? Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver?
I don't recall that.
Brad, did you say yes?
Yeah, I sort of remember that.
Do you remember the word that he used? It's just you rarely see this anymore. It shows what a hard-on Mike Ditka was. You rarely hear coaches talk like this anymore because it's just a different vibe altogether. But if I remember right, Brad Ryder, it was a big playoff game for the Bears, and Kevin Butler missed a couple of field goals. It wasn't good. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't good. After the game, the media, if I remember right, says to Mike Ditka, "What do you think of your kicker's performance today?" And he says, "Gutless." Absolutely gutless. Oh, God, I remember watching that on television going, geez, if I'm Kevin Butler, I think I'm going into his office with a baseball bat. Straight up calls his kicker gutless on television.
Yeah, it seemed like your Eskimo brother with the Vikings was never really nice to the kicking team, it seemed like. He always seemed kind of pissy, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, Zimski?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like the kickers much. That's the way it came off, at least.
Well, the kicker he despised the most is kicking in Vegas.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He drafted the guy, and then...
How long did he last? A day?
Not very long.
1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
And Zimski lost his cool.
Yeah, he gave that kid no chance.
What a hell of a deal.
Too bad.
Well, Andrew DePaola going to Vegas, playing the Raiders. Good luck to you, man. Go get them.
What's the timetable, Andrew? Do you fly in there? I mean, how much leeway time do they actually give you in Vegas? Free time in Vegas? Is there any?
We don't really get a lot of, I would say, free time anywhere we go. So, Coach likes to keep the schedule the same. So no matter where we fly, he usually likes to land at around 4:30, 5 o'clock local time. So we kind of keep the schedule the same. As close to the same as we can.
Fair enough.
Do you have some free time in Vegas?
I mean, we have a little bit. Yeah. But we're not staying on the Strip. I think we're staying 30, 45 minutes out.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
Keeping everyone out of trouble.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about, keeping everyone out of trouble.
I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about this stadium. I've been to Vegas a few times. I watched as it was being built. It looks like it's a great stadium to play in, but sometimes looks are deceiving. I'll be interested to hear what your impressions are of the place.
Yeah. Get back to us on that ballpark. It looks fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Fancy schmancy.
Will do.
Andrew, thank you. Good luck on Sunday, and hopefully, like Eugene Robinson, you'll be able to talk in a week.
Hopefully. Hey.
Yes.
And you guys, I know you're going to have just good luck today going to your little Toys-4-Tatas.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
I know it's tough.
Speaking of being able to talk in a week.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, but I think you guys will pull through.
Thank you, Andrew.
Such a supportive friend.
Our speech will be very muffled at times.
$20 at a time. Yes.
$20 at a time. Hey, man, good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Looking forward to it, guys. See ya.
Every week we rap with Andrew DePaola about the upcoming ball game. We get real into the details, the strategies, the X's and O's, offensive schemes, defensive game plan.
We even pass game plans to the coach.
Strength of schedule, quarterback ratings.
I'm not sure we've had a guy that's just as low-key about the stuff that we throw at him like he is. That's pretty good.
He's the best. We were talking about it earlier. He's the best. Yeah, maybe O'Connell checks his emails. Nicky could fire off an email and give him some advice on that. That's a great idea.
Coach, I've got a suggestion.
Thank you, Josh.
No, honestly, that is a great idea.
Draw something up on the chalkboard for the kid there, Justin Jefferson.
You imagine the looks he would get if he were to walk into an offensive meeting today and just say, "Hey, I got an idea, guys.
I'd like to get number 18 involved.
Yeah.
What do you think?"
Or just kind of peek his head in the door as they're talking. Hey.
All right, here we go with Purple Pick'em for this week. Purple Pick'em. Here's the deal. Still haven't given away any money this year. It makes us feel bad.
It does.
Got a lot of money to give away. Listen at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Listen for that keyword to text in. We'll pick you out of a hat and get you on the air. If you're chosen to pick on air, and you get either score prediction right, one or the other, you win $1,000. If you get them both, $100,000 and a trip to that big ball game in February. This is all sponsored by the Next Generation 10G network only from Infinity. Our guest this morning to make his picks. What was that?
Xfinity, yes.
What did I say?
You said Infinity.
I'm sorry.
And
Sponsored
beyond.
by the Next Generation 10G network only from Xfinity. Steven from Buffalo is joining us this morning.
Hey,
Steve?
Good morning.
Morning.
Going on in Buffalo, dude?
Not a whole lot.
No?
You sound pumped.
What are you talking about?
Wow.
Buffalo, there's always something going on.
Never anything going on.
It's not that much.
You've been living there for a lot of your life? How long you been a Buffaloan? A Buffalino?
Probably about 10 years total.
Yeah, married guy, kids. Is that why you sound so somber?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Well, I don't completely get it, but I've seen and heard from others like you.
Well, you're married now.
Yeah, I know.
With a godson, I mean, that's basically the same thing.
You're damn right.
That's true. You interact with him about as much as I do. We're in the same boat.
I don't come off as such a happy guy on the air anymore, do I, Steve? Steve, the game coming up Sunday there. How about your halftime prediction? I'm sure you've been thinking about this for weeks.
I definitely have. Minnesota 10, Las Vegas 7.
10-7. And then this will be what brings home the money for you, the final.
Minnesota 24, Las Vegas 17.
All right. You heard me, I'm sure. If you get one or the other correct, $1,000 in your pocket. Make you the happiest guy in Buffalo. If you get both predictions correct, hell, you'd be the happiest guy in the whole state of Minnesota. $100,000 and a trip to that big stinking football game. Sponsored. I'm going to get it right this time. Sponsored by the Next Generation 10G network, only from Xfinity.
Nailed it.
Steven, have a great weekend.
Thank you, brotherhood. Love the show, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Very kind of you to say thank you.
Hell of a.
Yeah, let's get him $100,000.
I'll be very happy.
It's too bad that thing doesn't roll over every week. If somebody doesn't win, and the money rolls over, can you imagine? And when you get to this point of the season,
has anybody ever won it? I mean, that would be massive.
I don't think anybody's ever won the $100,000.
$100,000, no.
The $100,000, no.
We've given away the thousands, but never the hundreds.
But can you imagine the tension if that thing kept rolling over every week?
I'd be afraid.
Oh man!
Of some of the emotional train wrecks that might come into play If it rolled over, and a listener misses that.
You talk about a sweat.
If a listener misses that score by a point or a safety or some fumble at the end of regular, my damn. People would come uncorked. By the way,
even if you just added a little bit every week, it would just be crazy.
I thought this was cute. We got to get going. We got to get to our brawl here. But first, I was reading something yesterday, speaking of the NFL. A Carolina Panthers fan is moving on to a new favorite ball club. We got to pass this on to Dana. He's got this sick obsession with the Buffalo Bills out of nowhere starting a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, because he did the same thing. He moved on from the Vikings.
He moved on. And now we should make sure Dana hears about this because, the Bills are a nightmare now. He doesn't need to hang on. He can throw away all his Buffalo Bills stuff and start all over again. A Carolina Panthers fan is moving on to a new favorite ball club. He made an announcement on Twitter. I love the way he puts this, that he is officially entering something that he created called the NFL Fan Transfer Portal.
That's good. Very funny. Does he announce where he's transferring to?
He hasn't said yet, I don't think, Josh, where he's settled.
No, not yet. I think he's looking for suggestions.
Looking for maybe a team to, officially invite him.
I kind of wondered, actually, how much of this with the Bills season, how much Dana would put up with before
Some NFL teams should jump on board this and have some fun with this. Some team social media accounts should have some fun with this and offer them different things if they want to join.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because, you look at the big story in the college football transfer world is how much each of these transfers actually kind of cost a school. You saw it, there's an article this morning in the Star Tribune about the Gophers, and it's $1 million for a quarterback. That's what they give the price for. It'd be fun if NFL teams go, well, it's transferred to in our portal and it's worth something, a hat or something. It'd be they could have some fun with it. You're right.
Work with their corporate sponsors and say, hey, we'll give you free Taco Bell for a week or something.
Jump in the Bears transfer portal.
All right, we're going to run late here. We're going to run late, Josh, because I almost completely forgot to bring something up. We've got to talk about this hockey game.
I was just about to remind you, this is such a great video.
Forget about everything else that's going on. The Pigs lost, the Wolves play tonight, blah, blah, blah. You got a newspaper in front of you. But before we do the friggin' brawl, we got to talk about this stinking hockey game. Well, not necessarily the game, but what happened in the bleachers. This is up on our website?
Yes.
There's a video going around of two slobs at a hockey game that get into a fist fight in the bleachers.
It's a pretty weak fight, by the way.
They're terrible.
You talking about two fans?
Yes. Two slobs at a hockey game that get into a fist fight in the bleachers. And it is a fight that is truly unlike any other ever. I don't know what teams we're playing. It ain't the NHL, that's for sure. It's a smaller size venue. The teams don't matter. The fight is so historic, the teams on the ice mean nothing. It starts out in a familiar manner. You've got someone videotaping two men swinging at each other in the stands. The two idiots are up against the glass in the front row of the stands. No real solid blows are landed. Neither of them is very good at fighting.
No, not at all.
Bystanders are Bystanders are watching. They're entertained, cheering, hollering. Eventually, the fight is broken up. Now, after the two donkeys are separated, one of the fighters is acting all pumped up by his mediocre performance, right?
As if he won the fight.
Yes. He's gesturing to the crowd as if to say, let's hear it for me. You guys saw that, right? And he really accomplished nothing. And then about the funniest thing I've ever seen at a hockey game happens. The pumped up dude wants to show the crowd and his opponent how tough he is by driving his skull. Are you watching it right now?
You weren't expecting that, were you?
What in the world? What an idiot.
The man drives his own skull into the plexiglass. He does. And he knocks himself absolutely unconscious.
Like instantly.
And falls
Look
onto
at all the cans that are around the guys.
They had a lot of beers.
Yes, they did.
They had a lot of beers. This man knocks himself completely unconscious into the glass, and he's laid out like a child in a crib.
Where's the security people at this thing? This is just like...
It's so small, there's probably not
It
security.
might be a youth game. I'm watching.
Very well
That's
could
what
be.
I was thinking it was a youth game
It
as
could
well.
be a youth. I have no idea.
That's awful for youth game. Okay, I'm watching the replay where the guy gets the sweater off his head, and then he just...
The size of the arena, there's only about 10 sets of rows of bleachers. It's got to be a youth game.
Brad, it does not matter if this was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. This dude put on the most ridiculous act I've ever seen at a sporting event.
And he gets very little sympathy.
No.
And he's down for a long time. There was one guy that kind of came over and checked on him, but...
He made himself out to be the world's biggest jackass. You got to see this video.
That is just
You got to see it on our website. I hope you have a good time with that. All right, we're at a historic mark, the 150th edition of Dad Fights. Anchors away, Grover.
Dad Fights! Dad Fights! You don't have a dad, here's what it's like. Dad Fights! Dad Fights! Randy and Brad, they just might. Have a Dad Fights! Yeah!
I got to make sure the bell's working, Josh.
It looks like you've got it in good repair.
150th damned edition of our Dad Fights Trivia Showdown this morning. I stopped caring many episodes ago.
So did I.
I'm
About
kidding.
149 ago.
It's always fun and interesting.
Wait,
you
we're
know
doing
it.
this again?
You know I'm kidding. It's a lot of fun. Our contestants, as always, the ass man Randy Shaver, the lonely boy Brad Ryder, bitter, hateful rivals they are. So as we were telling Andrew DePaola earlier, as soon as we put a lid on this nonsense, we're going to make our way to downtown F Me Run in Minneapolis.
I'm kind of surprised you guys aren't already there. Normally you
Yeah, I am too.
Well, broadcasting live from anywhere is a massive pain in the ass. Is
Yes,
this
it is.
Is this the second or third year we've just broadcast? Second.
We already ran into some tech issues earlier. That's why we're here.
I gotcha. Well, good.
It's
I'm glad. I was surprised
Yeah.
when I...
It's almost impossible to put on a decent show from an environment like that, and that's not a complaint. Hell, it's a strip bar. Everyone's supposed to be screaming and yelling and tunes blaring. Just not the best scenario for putting on a... So, we're going to get out of here at 9, go to Minneapolis, where then we make a grand entrance through the front doors of Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club as the unquestionable guests of honor for our Toys-for-Tatas holiday.
Oh, yeah. All the heads turn.
Every year, a standing ovation greets Josh and I as we stroll in. We act like we don't hear the comments from the crowd, like, it's really them.
It's really them.
The crowd says, don't they, Josh?
Oh, yeah, every year.
My God, they're good looking.
Whoa, they're beautiful.
Today is meaningful thanks to our listeners. We pile up wonderful gifts as far as the eye can see. We thank them for that. Now, part of the event also requires us to drink beer and hang around with dancing topless 20-year-old women.
Yuck.
Oh, awful.
Nudity is part of the process for today to get all those toys.
How does that fly in your house now, Nick?
Randy Shaver, stop.
He's throwing gas on the fire.
Stop pretending.
Brad, is that not a legitimate question?
It is a legitimate question. I have a legitimate answer. It'll help you in the future. It'll help our relationship in the future. Stop assuming that I have your problems.
She might be down there already.
She wouldn't give a rat's ass.
Okay.
So stop all of you. Stop assuming that I have your problems. I'm special. Tell them how special I am, Josh.
He's very special. Has she texted you yet this morning?
No, she left town.
Oh, she did.
Didn't say a word.
That's convenient.
There we go.
She didn't say a word. She left town.
Oh, that's why we scheduled it for today. That's right. So,
funny.
Can you share again the text she sent you when we were in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah, that was funny. We were in Turtle Lake, Josh and I standing around, and my phone lit up, and it was a message from my brand new wife, and she said...
Yeah, just of a couple weeks, maybe.
Yes, and I believe it was a picture of the two of us on our wedding day.
It was.
It was one of the corny pictures that they take of you on your wedding.
Yeah. You look you dressed up even, everybody.
Yeah,
Sleeves, the whole ordeal.
Sleeves.
Wow.
So it's a picture of the two of us from our wedding day that somebody took, and underneath the picture it says, I hope you aren't giving all of this up by committing adultery.
Oh, wow.
Wow. She knows her partner pretty well.
Yeah.
I had to step in because Nick's like, what is adultery?
Yeah.
And I explained, it's what you're doing right now.
It's what I'm doing right now, he told me. And then I had Josh text her back and say, he's not committing adultery because he doesn't know what it means. It's not the same if he doesn't know what it means.
That's true. It doesn't count if you don't know what it means.
You're in international waters. You're in Wisconsin.
Just always remember this again. This is the way. I'm not like you guys. Yes, I have a girlfriend. I got a wife on the side. That's how my life is.
Yeah, well,
I got a girlfriend and I got a wife on the side.
Good for you.
Don't kill me, young blood. What movie? Next Friday. What character? Pinky. Here's the deal. There's going to be nudity today.
Yes.
And with all that in mind, nudity has made its way into the subject of today's Dad Fights Trivia Contest.
Oh, boy.
Today, and here again, here's where the boys are going to act completely offended and embarrassed by this. Today,
yes,
the two of you old farts are going to be quizzed on famous nude scenes from movies.
Oh, gosh.
Famous nude scenes from movies.
This is one of those where if either one of your spouses are listening, you have to decide. I know the answer. Do I jump in first or do I give it a little time?
I'm not sure if winning today is a good thing.
Do I jump in?
Do we win or do we lose if we win today?
Wait, there's a nude scene in that movie? I had no idea.
We will give you hints and information on a famous nude scene from a well-known motion picture.
I suppose if you describe the actors or something.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
you'll know for sure.
We'll give you the level of nudity. We'll tell you who got their privates out for all to see, and then you name the movie. And like Josh was saying, what's going to be fun for me is, first off, I don't think this contest is going to be very difficult for either one of you. And even though I think deep down you both want to be able to answer all these questions about naked people quickly, at the same time, you don't want to make it seem like you know everything there is to know about naked people in movies.
We got a Mr. Skin on the line here or something.
It's a head-to-head deal like we always do on the program. You want to be the first one to shout out the correct answer. If you answer first, you'll hear the bell. We didn't cover this before we went on the air. I don't know why I always forget, but what are we doing for an incorrect answer? A whopple.
Oh.
Fair enough.
A Mario death.
Yeah.
You can steal a point if your competitor answers incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker if necessary. And I think I've completely misplaced our intro. Yes, I have. I've misplaced the intro person. You dump it on us, Andrew.
It's the real Jesus.
This is the real Jesus. 'Twas the day of Toys-4-Tatas, and all through the studio, not much was a stirring, only Wapple tugging it out. Ashley and Dana down at the club with Prancer and Dancer, their real names we won't shout. With the morning show over, Nick and Josh run out. With visions of Coors Light and lingerie all through their heads, the listeners down at Rick's heard a clatter. It was Assman and Ryder, that was the matter. They punched and they kicked, they spit and they spat. However, no one was worried. This is just for the intro of Dad Fights 150.
Thank you.
Is jacking off.
Oh, boy.
He's excited.
The real Jesus. Mm-hmm. Tell us how folks can get a hold of it if they want to do an intro, because I've misplaced that information too.
We need your name and phone number and email address. Email that to 93xhams@gmail.com.
Isn't it Hams93X? I thought it was Goofy. Yeah, Hams93X@gmail.com.
Nice work, Wobble.
My B.
You had one friggin' job.
That was your B.
I don't even have the info in front of me right now.
Famous nude scenes in movie history. Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver. Here we go.
Many moviegoers thought Halle Berry's nude scene, while appreciated, was
Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball is incorrect.
It's a great guess, though, but that's not where we're headed. I mean, boy, she got all the way naked.
Great movie.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was totally unnecessary, fans said. This was a John Travolta, Hugh Jackman action movie about terrorists and computer hackers. She was just sunbathing naked, and it added nothing to the story other than seeing her topless. What movie?
It's all you, Randy Shaver.
I don't know. Sorry.
Swordfish. I remember seeing that movie thinking, what just happened? Why was that there?
Was she out by a trailer or something?
I thought she was like on the roof of a building, just topless sunbathing for no reason.
And then she had a mirror.
Yeah, Barry got an extra $500,000 above her $6 million salary to get topless, and she often jokes that means each of her boobs are worth $250,000.
Oh,
Never
saw it.
Never saw it.
Brad and I never saw it.
You know, it's funny. People were texting in swordfish, swordfish, swordfish. They knew we were going to go there. Yeah, that was just the most purposeful. What's the word? I don't even know. There was no reason for that to be in there. Her boobs, none of her boobs distracted me.
Monsters Ball was a good guess. Yeah, she got all the way naked in that sumbitch.
I never saw that movie. Is that any good?
Oh, it's really good.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah,
dark.
it's really good.
It's kinda
The movie-
dark.
Yeah, the movie itself is really good too.
It's dark, but yet really well done. Okay, here we go. So we're sitting at nothing. No one's got one correct yet after one question. There have been some bros that have unleashed the dong on film. And one of the more famous...
Boogie Nights.
Good guess.
Darn.
Randy
That's a
Shaver
good guess too.
trying to jump in quick. He went with Boogie Nights. And now here you go, Brad. You get the whole question all to yourself.
Okay.
One of the more famous examples came back in 2000+8 when an actor by the name of Jason Segel got his tallywhacker out in a romantic comedy set in Hawaii. The movie also starred folks like Kristen Bell, Mila Kunis, Russell Brand.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
He is correct.
That's a funny movie.
That's a very funny movie.
Yeah.
That's right, Brad Ryder. You got one on the board. Segel wrote the movie. Jason Segel wrote the movie, so he must have really wanted folks to see his pecker. There's also a scene where a topless picture of Mila Kunis is shown, but that was just a fake photo created on a computer, which was very disappointing. 1-0, Brad Ryder. He's right, forgetting Sarah Marshall. Russell Brand was so funny in that movie.
Oh, he was awesome.
Very funny.
I
think that's the first time I ever saw him.
Me too. And the last, I think, to be honest with you.
It's one of those movies when it comes on HBO or whatever, you have to stop and watch it.
Yeah, it is great. Many men of a certain age remember when Phoebe Cates got out of a pool wearing a teeny tiny...
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's correct.
Good one.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The movie originally included so much sex and nudity, it was given an X rating, so they had to de-sex it a bit to make it rated R.
Legendary. Still to this day, you see that video pop up all over the place.
Yep.
Legend. God, she was just stunning. Funny scene, too, guys whacking off in the background. I bet you someone can...
Brad is jacking off.
I bet you someone can tell me this. 651-989-9393. What was the name of the Cars song that's playing in the background during that scene? It's a song from the Cars. Was it like Love in Stereo or Stereo Lovers? Someone text me that. 2-0 Brad Ryder. Here we go. We're famous nude scenes in movies is our topic for today's dad fight. All right, let's see if either one of you can pounce on this one after I say just one word, okay? Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nude scenes in movies. Okay, see if you can pounce on it after one word. Vagina.
Basic Instinct.
He's right. Randy's on the board. The 1990s.
Wasn't that something?
That's right.
1992, man.
Yeah.
I remember the year.
Friggin' wore the pause button out on his VCR.
Sharon Stone.
I almost just guessed that before you said the word, just because I figured you were going there with that.
That's right. Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone with the leg crossing and uncrossing. And the story here is that she wasn't crazy about it being included in the movie at first.
She wasn't. I think she was. Didn't she try to sue the?
That I don't know.
I thought it got kind of nasty. I thought.
Okay.
By that I mean like the relationship.
Okay. I have in front of me that she later agreed that the director made the right call by including her labia in the movie. But there was some hubbub there. But Randy's correct. Basic Instinct. All I had to say was Virgina. Listener said Moving in Stereo is the name of the Cars song when Phoebe Cates busts out her cans. Moving in Stereo. Thank you. You guys are great.
It's not terribly uncommon for A-list actresses to get naked on screen, but you typically don't see many popular actors showing off their Hollywood.
Boogie Nights. Figured I'd try that one.
Boy, the odds are going to be with you eventually.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I figured I'd give it a shot.
Not a bad guess again. But that's why it was a big deal when Ben Affleck showed Little Ben in this 2014 psychological thriller where Affleck's wife meticulously frames him for murder.
Gone Girl?
Gone Girl's correct.
Yeah.
Danalis says production on Gone Girl had to be shut down for 4 days because Ben, a noted Red Sox fan, refused to wear a Yankees hat in a particular scene. He eventually agreed to wear a Mets hat instead in a compromise.
We're tied at 2 here in our famous Nude Scenes edition of Dad Fights. I have no memory of Ben Affleck's penis from that movie.
I don't remember that either.
I saw the movie. It was a creepy-ass movie. I didn't know his dong was swinging around. We're tied at 2. Here we go. Here's your next challenge. And this one probably won't be too difficult either. For an entire generation of 90s kids, Kate Winslet's cans
Titanic
were the first to be seen on the big screen 1997 with the French girls and the Leo DiCaprio. That's right, Brad Ryder, Titanic. And Brad is now leading 3-2. If I'm not mistaken, Wapple, our official scorekeeper over there.
That's correct.
Yeah, she got him out for Titanic. And a little inside info here. Leonardo DiCaprio was not a very good artist, so the shots you see in the movie of the hand drawing the naked picture of Kate Winslet are actually that of director James Cameron. All right, 3-2.
Elizabeth Berkley did away with the...
American Pie.
No? Did away with the goody two-shoes Saved by the Bell vibe in 1995 when she played a dirty stripper in this NC-17 rated movie, which was panned by critics at the time, but has since gained a huge following. NC-17.
Gosh, I don't know.
Showgirls.
Yeah.
Was what
Elizabeth Berkley was never in American Pie. I was thinking of...
that other one.
Anyway,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, the NC-17, that was the big deal when Showgirls came out. It was a flop at the box office, supposedly because some people were too embarrassed to go see it. But it was a hit on video and has become a cult classic. A lot of theaters, in fact, hold midnight showings monthly and people dress in costume at those screenings.
I love Showgirls. I watch it every day.
I barely remember it. I saw it when it came out, and that was about it.
You know what else movie I love? Bring It On.
Yeah, you're a fan.
Anyway, what's the score? I forgot now who's leading.
3-2 Brad.
3-2 Brad. Couldn't get Showgirls. Something tells me you'll get this one. There were a lot of naked bodies in this 1997 movie about the 70s porn industry.
Boogie Nights. Finally.
It's like just going down a test in school and just putting C for every answer.
Yep, you're going to get it eventually.
That is right. Boogie Nights. A scene where main character Dirk Diggler's massive wad falls out of his pants. Yep. It was a fake.
Right.
But whatever. I remember reading something about fans disappointed to learn that Mark Wahlberg's penis isn't 11 inches. What are you talking about, disappointed? How creepy is that? Oh, no, his penis isn't 11 inches long? How
That's
weird.
actually a dark movie, too. It's good, but it's very dark.
Best part of Boogie Nights, I mean, aside from Heather Graham, best part of Boogie Nights, Burt Reynolds.
Yes, Burt Reynolds.
God dang, all-time great.
Finish him.
This could be
Brad
it, huh?
could wrap it up? Oh, my God.
This steamy movie trilogy, based on a set of famous books, featured a whole lot of BDSM, sex, and nudity, especially from Don Johnson's daughter, Dakota, who played Anna, a 21-year-old college student who finds herself in a submissive, dominant relationship with a horned-up...
50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Couldn't think of it. God,
that's correct.
I couldn't
Christian
either.
Grey is the billionaire. There were a lot of rumors during the movie's release that Dakota Johnson and male lead Jamie Dornan didn't get along, but Johnson has repeatedly squashed said rumors.
So now we're back to a one-point game, aren't we, Walter?
Yeah, it's 4-3 Brad.
4-3 Brad. Randy, with this next challenge, if he gets it correct, Randy could tie it up and force a tiebreaker. Brad could answer it and win outright. If neither one of you get it right, Brad wins. Am I correct?
Yeah. That's how it's going.
All right, here we go.
And today's loser joins us at Rick's Cabaret, starting at 9 a.m.
Listen closely, boys. Puppet nudity still counts as nudity. So what movie from the year 2000 plus 4 proudly featured an infamous and very graphic puppet sex scene between the characters Gary and Lisa, where they tried multiple positions, including missionary, cowgirl, doggy style, 69, motorboating, girl-on-guy oral sex, reverse cowgirl, sideways doggy style, pile driver, back to missionary, golden shower, and a Cleveland steamer.
It was the most graphic sex scene I'd ever seen at that point.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you either.
Despite no correct answer, Brad Ryder is the winner of Dad Fights 100 plus 50, our Nude Scenes in Movies edition.
What was the winner? What was the
movie? Yeah.
Talk to you guys on Monday.
No. What was the movie?
The correct answer, and I'm kind of surprised. I know this isn't your speed.
I probably saw it, but I don't remember.
We talk about this movie so often because it's so wildly hilarious. The correct answer is Team America World Police.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I did not see it.
I didn't see that either.
It is the sexiest friggin' love scene in the history of film.
It's so graphic. And it's marionettes or whatever. Oh, man.
I'll tell you this story again. A number of years ago, we were bored as hell at my house drinking beer, and I put that movie in the DVD player, Team America World Police. Bunch of us just shooting pool at my house. There was one guy in our group that hadn't seen the movie, and he's also a pretty straight-laced cat. He's not gonna, he's just straight-laced, buttoned down. He's not much into porno or anything like that.
I bet you were just waiting for that scene to come on.
When that scene started, we waited for him to notice the television. He looks over, he's like, what in the living? And then we hit slow motion. And he almost threw up on my pool table when it came time for the poop. He almost threw up on it. Was the funniest damn thing. He's holding his stomach going, please turn it off. I love that scene.
And it went on forever. Oh, man.
Here's the deal, boys. You did great work today on Dad Fights and just everything else that was expected of you. So have a great weekend.
All right.
Okay.
And we will talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Brad and Randy. We'll come back here shortly. What time is it officially? We're 35 minutes away from leaving for stinking Rick's Cabaret. We'll be back in a minute.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
It was a picturesque holiday when this storybook town reached a plot twist.
There was a divide in the town, turkey versus ham.
A community split down the middle, just in time for the big potluck.
When Teresa brought out the pork chops, girl, I knew it would get ugly.
Indeed. The next day, Teresa vanished, a victim of meat-based vindication. Will this town find justice despite potluck proclivities? Stay tuned.
Giant spiral sliced ham, 99 cents per pound with a $25 purchase, limit 2.
Half-assed morning show, 93X.
Oh, man, it's a special day.
Really is. You can feel it.
I was just going to say, you can cut it with a knife. It's a special day for everybody here at the Half-Assed Morning Show. Right now, as we speak, at Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club in downtown Minneapolis, Toys-for-Tatas 20 plus 23 is well underway. Our annual holiday toy drive. You can find our co-hosts, Dana and Ashley, down there right now.
Covered in glitter at this point, don't you think?
I would imagine so. The rest of us, me and Wapple and Cubby, will be hopefully getting the hell out of here as soon as our radio show wraps up at 9 a.m. I mean, I don't know what you guys have to do, but I'm getting the hell out of here.
I want to leave.
And we'll be there around 9:30 to see everybody. Are we all good to go with, we're checking in with Ashley and Dana at the joint.
How's everybody doing?
Well, we're doing all right. Probably not as good as you folks are.
Yeah, I think the question is, how are you guys
doing? A lot better, I bet.
Well, here's the deal, though. So there's obviously hundreds of beautiful women here at Rick's Cabaret, but where Ashley and I are sitting, we're in the back, kind of where the VIP couches are, and right now we just have a huge view of a bunch of dudes' butts who are waiting in line for a Coors Light at the bar.
Oh, I bet Ashley's miserable about that too.
Well, you got every now and then one of the dancers will go behind us and lead one of the guys to one of the back rooms, special rooms here. So I get to see a glimpse of them.
I do like to see that. I like to. They're just kind of they've got their hand behind them, leading them.
Yes.
Like the elephant walk almost.
It's a very sweet scene that plays out as the dancer is walking her customer back to the champagne room. I'm very familiar with that view. If you sit in that part of the bar at Rick's Cabaret, once the bar opens up, you have very little chance of seeing what the hell's going on. It's just back pockets as far as the eye can see. And they've been selling hooch now for a good 40 minutes, huh?
They have, yeah, and there always is. There's that kind of mad dash to, get to the bar. People start angling their way over there around, 7:45.
Was there the cheering? We didn't get a chance to do that, or have you guys up during that time? But at 8 a.m., I do look forward to the cheering. Did that happen?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they played the typical Shots song by LMFAO, of course, and that's when you know it's ready to party.
The Shot song has played. Okay, tell us a little bit about the crowd and the toys maybe that you've seen donated and this and that.
I haven't had a chance to see many of the toys because we're inside, but I will say my favorite person ever walked through the door. I wasn't expecting them to come.
No, Josh is going to be there about 9:30. What? Yeah. Your favorite person? What?
David Lee Rock is here.
Oh, our mascot.
Our mascot, the 93 Rex mascot. Sure. He does a great job at a lot of these.
Our station mascot, David Lee Rock, is there.
It was really fun watching him interact with the strippers because some of the strippers are like, what is he? I don't understand. What are you? And he can't speak, obviously. So it's great.
Is he doesn't have the best peripheral vision either, so it's funny watching him try to navigate his way around here without causing a complete disaster.
Well, and it gets real nuts to butts in there, so it's tough to find a lane. So I'd imagine it's extra difficult.
He went back in one of the VIP rooms about 2 hours ago, and we have not seen him since. Just more and more dancers just keep going in and out of his room.
That a boy.
He seems like the type. Well, it sounds like you guys are having fun over there.
Yeah, it's a great time. There's tons of people already. It's packed as it always is, and it's just going to get even more and more nuts, and it's going to be a great day as it always is here at Rick's.
Any favorite outfits? We always like to talk about, some of the girls get very creative with their holiday outfits. Anything like that?
Lots of Santas. I've seen a couple reindeer and some elf type stuff, and then just the typical. I'm always just entranced by the boots that they wear because they're just so tall and they've got like sequins and little frilly things coming off. I just don't know how they walk in those. It's the most impressive athletic feat I've ever seen.
Have you seen any of our regulars there, like Cherry Bomb, who was in studio the other day? Have you seen her yet?
I've seen her walk past a couple times. She's always very busy, and especially at any time at Rick's, I imagine, but especially when, because our listeners have taken a shining to her.
Have the two of you started drinking yet?
No, not yet.
Be honest.
Keep offering, but we're going to hold
Being
out.
good.
Be honest, Ashley.
No, I don't know who's been offering you, Dana, but no one's offered me a drink.
Have you had your plate of bacon, Ashley?
No, not yet.
Oh, you've changed.
I know. It's a weird start
Ever
to the
since
morning.
Nick got married, you've changed.
You have.
Changed my life. What can I say?
A listener sent me a text a few minutes ago. A listener texted in and said, "It's right. I don't want to misquote him. I think I left it on the printer, Josh. Could you grab that for me?" I've heard this slogan before, and it's got to be in there somewhere. Thank you, Josh, is grabbing some papers for me off the for Christ's sake.
It was going so well.
I've heard this slogan before, but I wanted to make sure I got it right. A listener sent in a text that says, "Remember, when you get to Rick's Cabaret, you can't buy love, but you can rent it for 3 minutes."
$20 at a time.
Here's the story if you're thinking about coming to join us. Come on in. If you don't have a toy to donate, you got to pay cover. But if you're cool enough to go get an unwrapped toy for a kid in need this year, it'll get you in for free. That gets you the free food we were just talking about a minute ago. And then, by God, you've done a wonderful thing. You've helped a kid out. And you can spend the rest of the day partying, drinking beer, and hanging out with the lovely ladies of Rick's Cabaret.
Oh, they'd love to have you, that's for sure.
Love to have you. They'll treat you like you've never been, like a king. So we'd really appreciate it. Some of you folks plan for this weeks ahead of time. There might be a few of you who are on the fence. That's how it works. Bring in that unwrapped toy, or 2 or 3. Donate it at the front door. You get in for free, get the free food, and have a lot of laughs with us. at Rick's Cabaret today?
Everybody behaving. Dana and Ashley, have you seen any trouble? I don't think
so good. Yeah, but again, it is early. Alcohol's only been on sale for 45 minutes now. So
that could do some damage for some folks. I've never.
I did talk to some people though that said they had pre-gamed on the way over here and got here at 6 a.m. So
Lord,
they might be the leading candidates to cause some trouble later.
Have you guys ever seen any instances of somebody who maybe imbibed a little too much at the Toys for Tatas events? I haven't. Certainly the boat cruises over and over and over again.
I guess I've never seen it at Toys for Tatas now that you mention it, but maybe because it's like so dark in here.
Or could be because it's so early.
Well, Josh, in past years, maybe had there been a mirror, I might have spotted one of those people.
Yeah, but that would be much, much later. I mean, you used to open and then close that thing.
Yeah, I mean, a mirror specifically for me. I'm sure I had way too many. But you know what? Now that you bring it up, we've been very, very lucky. I can't remember of one time where we had to, maybe remove somebody or have a conversation with somebody about their behavior at Toys for Tatas. On the friggin' boat cruises, hell, we had a dramatic drunken moron maybe every other year for the last 25 years. Something about, maybe because it's a charitable event, everyone's in a good mood, it's the holiday season, maybe it's so damn dark in there you can't make out if somebody's... But yeah, I mean, it's always a well-behaved crowd.
Yeah, it is. That's fun. I wish we were there and you guys were here.
Well, in 15 minutes, Josh.
I can't wait for you guys to get here.
I wish we were there and you guys weren't there.
Yeah. In 15 minutes, we can get headed in that direction. We certainly could. Thanks, Dana and Ashley.
Yeah, thank you both.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, now we're just minutes away. Matter of fact, Josh and I have made an executive decision because there really is no higher power in the building. Josh and I have made a decision. We might even squash the show a little early this morning just so we can get our act together and get over to Rick's Cabaret for Toys for Tatas. I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody and seeing all the toys that are piling up and seeing the topless girls and having a beer or two in the whole works. So we may even just get the hell out of here. Someone texted earlier, Josh, and wanted to know how late the toy drop-off goes. Now, I'm going to go... I would say get it there by noon.
Well, actually 2.
I'm sorry.
For sure, it'll go till 2 p.m.
Oh, I didn't know that you had a solid answer on that. Yeah. I apologize.
So 2 p.m. you can bring your toys then, and then after that, because they've got places to go, right? Places to bring these.
Got to drop them off.
So by 2 p.m. for sure, and then obviously you can take a risk and who knows, maybe going to get a lap dance later on this morning if you want.
It's very kind of you to ask. Obviously, that shows that you don't really have the time to stick around today, but you'd still like to donate. That's wonderful. Okay, 2 o'clock. Cubby says 2, Wapple. Write that down.
2.
2 o'clock. I got another text message that says, can any of you do a character voice of my uncle or someone like that to call my boss and fake a family emergency so I can go to Rick's Cabaret this morning?
I was thinking, a couple of people had said, guys, I need a way out of work. Maybe next year we could come up with, Dr. P could write a fake prescription or something like that. Or we come up with an alibi or something to get folks out of work. I mean, it's for the kids.
Dr. P. Jesus, how did you lose your medical license? It's faking some illnesses for people so they can...
That sounds like a Dr. P problem.
Yes, it does. So, we're going to get going relatively shortly. On my end of things, I just wanted to make a shout out to some good friends of mine. I know this is awkward, transitioning from a conversation about a strip bar to a much more serious subject, but I put myself in this position by forgetting yesterday. I just wanted to make a shout out to my friends, good friends of my family, the Welch family. I've known them my entire adult life, some of my favorite people. They lost their dad suddenly a handful of days ago. They had a service yesterday for their dad, Gary, or husband, Gary, or brother-in-law, whatever the relation might have been. I forgot to give him a shout out yesterday, so I needed to say that we're going to miss Gary. We love you guys very much, and we'll see you at the Legion.
Well said. Want to give a shout out also to the Marines, who, if you go, you might be surprised to see the U.S. Marines are at Toys for Tatas.
Oh, are they there again this year?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I didn't know...
They're going to kick my ass.
Well, I didn't know if we were allowed to say anything, but I was told we are allowed to say something.
Okay.
So, and let me just say real quick, that's not fair. That's not
No, it
fair as
isn't.
an average guy. You see a hot guy in uniform, all in shape and stuff. It's not fair to the rest of us.
That's
but
pretty cheap, boys.
it is, but it is really cool that they're out there. You feel kind of special that they're there. So we appreciate them and their support. Good luck to Andover Husky Jesus Jr. at your wrestling tournament this weekend from Naughty Insurance Agent Jesus. Happy birthday to Wisco Engineering Jesus and his dad today. Folded in half, still an inch, Jesus said he's looking for a shout out to Holland Gas, Jesus, and says, thanks for not giving me the shout out you promised. I hope you get pink eye. Shout out to all the guys and gals at Shared Solar Advisors from Built Like a House, Hung Like a Mouse, Jesus.
I hope you get pink eye.
You don't hear that a lot.
That's friggin' beautiful.
Happy 31st to Investigator Code Brown, Jesus, and hope to see as many as you as can make it out to Rick's Cabaret this morning. We appreciate the support, but if not for everyone else,
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.